For the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, third of the inning. This time the RBI goes to Austin Gurney.
Well, another rocket down the line. Cassidy Watt got to feel like he's under fire here. He's had some balls come at him real hard already. And even a couple that went foul that Gurney hit too. As I have mentioned on occasion, Leandro Mejia has some control problems, and control problems don't necessarily denote throwing of balls. Sometimes the control problem has you missing in the middle of the plate, especially to the top half of this order. That's a very dangerous game to play.
Next up, the man from our nation's capital. Owen Constantinu fouls that one straight back over the fencing. Constantinu, the man from Ottawa, 21 years old, 6'1", 220. Hitting left. He's had a pretty strong start to the year for himself as well. 377 he's hitting on the new season.
And yet another lefty. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight lefties in this order.
Swing and misses past that one. 0-2. And for Brantford, well, even if you know you're playing a lefty lineup, Brian, you don't have too many lefty starters really in the rotation to go through.
Well, they've got 3, I think, lefties in Ramos and Cade
Kozak.
Kozak.
Yeah, saw him on Sunday.
And, of course, pitching coach Greg Rapp.
Also saw on Sunday quite a few lefties came out in that game against Guelph. That one taken for ball 1.
There are so many more left-handed hitters than when I was of a playing age. Having a lefty hitter at that time was a rarity. Whereas I've been around to a lot of ball diamonds at a lot of different levels, and I'm always shocked at how many left-handed hitters there are now.
Nice take again there from Constantino. Really impressed by Chatham in this first inning. The go or no-go decision. When they don't go, they get it just in time. When they go, they hit that ball hard. 3 doubles already in the inning. A little bit too low. Going to be a full count here in a big spot against Constantino. Mejia could get out of the inning with a strike. Chatham leads 2-0 on a trio of doubles from Morrison, Barrett, and Gurney. Here's the full count pitch. That one misses wide. A couple nice takes there from Constantino. He'll take his free pass onto first base. Lee Casera, the right fielder, going to be the next man up.
Gurney is really trying to get a walking start on Mejia. It looks like he's trying to maybe steal third, which would be a strange thing to do with 2 outs. But if you can get a walking lead, then by all means you can steal that base. But good job by Mejia to hold the ball until he starts tracking back towards second and then delivers it home.
First pitch taken low and away by Kachera. He'll tell the runners to hold. This is going to be your spot in the lineup for Brantford in terms of pitching, where just less proven in terms of on-base ability. Kachera hitting 152, Graining net behind him, Andy Graining hitting 135 on the season.
Not only that, but 2 righties as opposed to all the lefties that you get in the middle, in the heart of that order.
They try the step-off move, check the runner at second. Gurney's going nowhere. There you see Kachera sitting in at 5'10", 160 pounds, smaller frame, but a strong hitter in his own right. The man from, fittingly, Chatham-Kent, Ontario. Here's the 1-0 from Mejia. That one misses wide. Very nicely caught by Savage. He was ridiculous on Sunday, Brian. Some of these snags, I think Cass is always going to be the guy when it comes to back picks, technical plays in the infield, probably the better all-around fielder. I don't think I've ever seen a player block a ball better than Savage. Some of these picks out of the air, ridiculous this week.
His ability to reach out at those pitches in the dirt is elite.
Right down Main Street. Almost looked like he was going to show bunt. Didn't, and it goes by for strike 1.
Yeah, you got the bottom of the order here. You got guys that don't have the big averages. Now's the time where you want to go right at these guys.
2-1. Runners on first and second. Chatham leads by 2 in the first inning. That one right up in the air. Maybe playable. Heads up over the grandstand, and it'll come down. Big opportunity here for Mejia on 2-2.
Now you've got 2 strikes. Definitely you got to stay in the. You don't want to go to 3-2 here and give these runners a chance to lead away with 3-2 and 2 outs. So this is a pitch that needs to be a strike right here. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a precarious spot.
Might see that cutter high potentially. We'll see what he goes with. Swings and misses past it, and he'll get out of the inning without more trouble. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers put 2 up on Mejia in the first inning with a trio of doubles. Other than that, they're shut off the scoreboard the rest of the way. Brantford will turn over and head up to what should be the first good offensive inning we've seen from them in this game, but not the first game we've seen from them in the weekend. Again, that 13-14 contest on Friday, ridiculous. And you see there the white and red Canada Day jerseys from last year for Brantford and those awesome plaid lumberjack-style uniforms for Chatham. You couldn't ask for much better of a jersey matchup. And here comes Yuri Yokoyama.
Yeah, I have not seen him throw live. I've seen some highlights of him, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how he works.
Well, let's talk about the Brantford offense. It's going to be Cantor, Black, and Holick, your top 3 coming up. Pretty much the exact same look as you saw there on the weekend. Only one notable change a little bit further down because it's Ortega, Savage, Kazemka, your next 3. And then it's going to be Watt, Holmgren, and Lucas Bateman, your final 3. The only real change there, Nick Ian and Tone out of the lineup here once again today. It's going to be Christian Kazemka starting at left. And that is going to be an interesting profile. I've really liked what this Brantford offense has been able to put together this year. I know Bateman's been in a bit of a slump, hasn't had quite the hitting form to really wrap it around back to Cantor as you'd like. But Kazemka's been pretty consistent with the on-base. So you kind of have with Savage, still second in the league in designated batting averages, Savage. You kind of get the on-base of Holick, then the power of Ortega, then the on-base of Savage, then the on-base ability of Kazemka. But power with Watt, power with Holmgren, back to Bateman. It's really a back-and-forth 1-2, 1-2. You don't really have guys that are, let's say, contradictory. You don't have a lot of power in one part of the lineup, a lot of contact somewhere else, like we saw early in the season. I think this is a well-rounded out, hitting lineup for Brantford. But the important thing, I think, Brian, is going to be what can Watt, Holmgren, and Bateman do to give a guy like Jacob Cantor, with how good he's been, base runners in front of him, which is something he really hasn't seen in that one spot all season.
That's true, and up against a guy like Yokoyama, you need to be patient. That first strike might be something that you're going to give away here. If he's going to start you off with one of those get-me-over curveballs, tip your cap and give that to him, and then be ready to jump on the next one. But he's going to want to get you to swing at his pitch, and most likely that's going to be a pitch down at the zone. So try and work the count. Try and get him to bring the ball up more into your wheelhouse, middle thigh to the belt, and be able to get the ball in the air. I mean, this is a good hit in Brantford club. It's a deep lineup, and so they are a significant challenge for any pitcher in this league, that's for sure.
Well, here's Jacob Cantor, the man hitting .297 on the young season. That one right over the heart of the plate for strike 1, and Cantor, 13 walks to 18 strikeouts, almost does the 2 at the same rate. Not too many RBIs, but plenty of hits, and the swiped bags, he's starting to rack them up throughout the course of the year. That one drops in a little bit wide for ball 1.
Yeah, it kind of went around the plate there. That's interesting. He kind of pulls the string on that curveball, doesn't he?
Low velocity to open it up on the first 2 pitches. Here's the 1-1. Yokoyama, that one put in play by Cantor, out to the shortstop. Picked well off the ground. Morrison, high, but he gets down. Nice play by Grayson Barrett to go up and get that one. Bring it down for out number 1.
Yeah, tough play there for Morrison. Had to range to his right, but mechanically very solid. You circle the ball and come toward the ball, and then that gives you the momentum toward first base. So circle around the ball, pick it up cleanly, take one step, and fire a seed across. He just threw it a little bit high. Nice play by Barrett to get up and receive it and get back down in time to get the out.
Here's Brody Black. First pitch to Black, misses high, doesn't break hard enough. The most recent episode of Brantford Red Sox Report guest, Mr. Brody Black, the man from Toronto. That one catches the outside part of the plate, evens it up at 1.
Well, right away you can tell how much that Yokoyama moves the ball around, changes speeds very well.
That one struck foul, going to go over the fencing in the first base line.
When you throw a good, accurate, slow curveball and you mix in a changeup and whatever sinker that is he's throwing when you throw a fastball, it may not be low to mid 90s, but it's sneaky fast. You know, seemingly, as the old adage goes, you could sneak a steak past a 100 dog.
Swings and misses, almost caught a piece of that one. First strikeout swinging, only the 10th on the season in 23 innings for Yokoyama, but he looked pretty effective swing and miss on that one.
Well, he went right back to the fastball there, climbed the ladder, and got Black to chase up out of the zone. And that's not a pitch that you can hit halfway between the belt and the letters.
One of the most consistent bats in the Canadian Baseball League. Here's Tim Holick, today's designated hitter, hitting .328 on the young season. Strong ratio of walks to strikeouts as he watches that one go by for strike one.
Well, very interesting start to the season for Holick. He started slow and then caught absolute fire, got up as high as 370, 380. He's cooled off a little bit.
That one drops in. Holick gets a piece of it, but not strong contact out over the head of the center fielder. Gurney settling under it.
Lost it.
Lost the baseball. Comes down. Nowhere near Gurney. He thought he was playing it. The right fielder had urgency. Gurney thought it was going to go over, and miscommunication will put Holick on first.
Well, I don't blame him. I lost it too. I had it as it went up, and then it got up to the top, and I completely lost that ball. And Gurney came in. It was headed straight for him, but by the time the ball landed, it was a good 15 feet to his left.
Well, here is the reigning Canadian Baseball League Player of the Week for the new week, Chris Ortega. What a run of form he's been on. Talk about guys getting hot. 6 home runs on the season as that strike one. 6 home runs. It felt like, gosh, it was a couple of games before he got the first, but once he got the first, Brian, he has just been bashing the baseball.
The floodgates opened after that first one, and he had an absolute rocket here Friday night against these very Barnstormers against Dakota Parsons.
That one in too far on the inside, ball one.
So a very good take on that first pitch. The pitch came in at the knees, but that's not a pitch that he wants to swing at. He's got 2 out and a runner on base. He's looking for a pitch that's up out over the plate so that he can really extend his arms and put a charge into it.
2 outs in the inning. That one drops in, is fouled straight to the fencing at the Brantford bullpen.
Nice pitch there by Yokoyama. Slider busts right in on his hands.
4 walks on the season to 11 strikeouts for Ortega for his power upside. Not a bad number of strikeouts to start the year. 1-2, runner on first. Now one struck, weak out to shallow right field. Underneath it, he'll get there. They're not going to miss out on that one. Cachera will make the catch, and that will finish off the first inning as the Red Sox, no hits, but they score on the fielding error in the outfield, as it is the Barnstormers 2, the Red Sox 1 through the first inning. We're going to take a quick look at the CBL All-Star Game coming up here shortly, and a quick 60-second break, and we'll be back on Brantford Red Sox Baseball presented by Mr. Lubin Tires.
Let's cheer them on, Brantford. Great job, ladies.
And welcome back to a special Canada Day edition of Brantford Red Sox Baseball on Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube. Whether you're watching us from Chatham, Brantford, anywhere in between, we thank you for joining us. Getting started for the top of the second inning, the Barnstormers take an early 2-0 lead in the first inning off a trio of doubles. Now the question, can Andy Graining keep the momentum going? Today's 8-hitter. Mejia back on the mound, gets a swing and a miss on his first strike.
Well, after having some control issues in the earlier part of the first inning, he sure finished that inning strong and went right at the last couple of hitters. And so we'll see if Leandro can right the ship this inning and get the 8-9-1.
Swings and misses on another pitch, breaking wide. That's what you want to see from Mejia facing these righties.
Yeah, he can throw that. He can throw that fastball off the plate and have it tail back in, or he could throw it on the corner and just throw the cutter.
That one sent up and foul. Going to keep it alive at 0-2.
Not quite where he wanted. That one caught a little bit more of the plate than he planned to. That's important with two strikes to make sure that you locate that 0-2 pitch because you've got him in swing mode right now. So you want to get it off the plate outside here.
Up high towards the head, but misses the batter. The 19-year-old from Chatham sees that one right up in the dome. Luckily misses him, and I talked about it, Graining, the utility man, hitting 135 in the new season. Robert Mackey up next in the 9-hole, 133 he's hitting. So a little bit of statistical relief, at least at the bottom of this Chatham lineup. That one a little bit too high. Really nice take there from Graining, working his way back in the count.
Just a nice fastball low at the knees on the outside corner. If nothing else, and get him to roll over on a ground ball here.
1-2 pitch from Mejia. That one's in, that one's tipped, and it's sent back foul our way.
Well, again, he missed his location there. That ball came way further in than it was asked for from Savage. Savage was looking for the pitch as I described it. Whether it was a fastball or a cutter is not relevant. The fact was that it came in a little inside. You want to get back outside here.
An even 2-2 count here. Mejia facing Graining. Mackey next up.
There it is.
No, says the home plate umpire. I believe they're going to say that was wide. Full count here, and there was a lot of controversy, Brian, on Sunday. The crowd not particularly happy with some calls that were made. I feel like there's a lot of that energy going around the CBL right now. As a batter, you got to take advantage where you can. As a pitcher, you got to settle it down.
Yeah, you got to throw a strike here.
3-2, big pitch. It's low. Big walk there for Morrison. He was down, or pardon me, not Morrison, Graining. He was down 0-2, fouled one up and over first base. That point on, 4 straight walks to get himself to first base.
Yeah, so a good at bat by Graining. So you want to bounce back right here, get something down at the bottom of the zone, get him in swing mode, get a ground ball here, see if you can twist up a double play ball.
So 4 balls and 7 pitches puts Graining at first. Here's Robert Mackey. Swings and misses past that one. Very similar to the pitch. He got 2 up early on him and a bat to go against Graining.
Well, coincidentally, that's the pitch he was looking for to get the strikeout, but he couldn't locate it there on the last at bat.
He's found it again. See if he goes back to that well in 0-1.
Nice pitch there.
Right down Main Street for strike 2.
Graining taking off for second here wouldn't totally shock me.
Now
Top the order up.
Keep an eye. There might be an attempt, but a step and a half there for Graining. That one up high again towards the dome of Mackey.
Well, you and I noted off camera that we didn't think maybe that Leandro was at full velo. He certainly is now, isn't he? He's throwing the ball a lot harder this inning, it seems like, anyways, than he did last inning.
Watch Graining. He's looking real jumpy there on first. Doesn't go. Swings and misses past that one. A crucial first strikeout of the day for Mejia. He's been looking for that pitch and a strikeout for a while. He finally got it with 2 strikes on the board.
Well, and a real nice job there, too. The one thing that Leandro does really well that doesn't show up on the score sheet is how well he keeps runners from stealing bases. I brought it up last inning in the second with the runner on second that he was waiting for the runner to bounce back towards second before he released. He's changing his release time, quick then slow, then quick then slow.
Oh, this is wide and low.
What you want to do is the runners here, these are professional baseball players, and the runners are timing you up. And if you're doing the same cadence for every pitch, they will get an incredible jump off on you. So if you're able to change that up and make them guess, that helps you and also helps your catcher throw guys out at second.
There's Julian Monks facing 1-0. That one is struck. Out to left center. Should be playable. Up there for Holmgren. Makes the catch. Routine play. Back to first will scurry Andy Graining. And the Red Sox get 2 outs on the board much earlier than they did in the first.
Very nice pitch there. Busting him in on the plate. Got the soft contact and a can of corn for Walter Holmgren.
So here is Evan Morrison. He had the first of the trio of doubles. Later came around to score in that first inning that gave Chatham 2 runs early. Once he got here with a runner on first. That one is put in play. Should be playable for one of the fielders. Out to left goes Kozebka. Not in time. The ball well too wide out of both himself and Chris Ortega's reach. That'll be strike one.
Yeah, I got to say, just for old time's sake, it kind of gives you a flashback to when Ren Kachioka used to run out those balls down because he could run like a gazelle.
But that's not the standard. I can never put that on a left fielder to say, oh,
that's not a statement at all on Kozemka, because Ren was like I say, he was one of the fastest guys in this league.
A one pitch becomes an 0-2
right on the
pitch.
Outside black.
He's finding a spot.
It reminds me that I reminded of that because we would see him make catches, and he would catch the ball sliding 10 feet inside of the out of play line and slide.
We wouldn't see it.
And he'd slide 20 feet out of play. He was going so fast.
He'd run back with a baseball, and we'd be in awe. That one is put in play right at Ortega. Should have time for the throw. He'll go to second to end the inning in quick succession. Much better inning there for Mejia. Still hasn't looked as dominant up high on that high cutter, a high velo as we're used to for his profile. Really good breaking pitches there, and he found his spot on the wide side of the plate versus the righties.
He sure did, and then he threw some nice pitches to Morrison as well and kind of overpowered him a little bit there, which is a bit of a surprise with such a good hitter that Morrison is. And but he definitely was throwing harder there. Now, a lot of times starters don't necessarily max out in the first couple of innings because they're thinking about going long term. I think about Justin Verlander, who would throw 96, 95, 96 in the first couple of innings, but then by the time he's in the 4th or 5th inning, he's throwing almost 100.
Yeah, famously, there was one season, I believe, if the stats correct, Justin Verlander threw his 3 hardest thrown pitches of the season in the 8th inning of a complete game.
I remember the game, to be honest with you, yeah.
Young Justin Verlander is a ridiculous kind of pitcher. And talk about a guy, I saw a great joke the other day on social media about how a guy was throwing at a school wall as hard as he could, trying to induce the need for a Tommy John surgery. Because certain guys today, they get Tommy John, similar to Verlander, they come back as a completely different style of pitcher, but they're just as, if not more effective. It's a weird thing.
Right, because the tendon that they're using is a piece out of the leg, which is obviously a thicker tendon, and you can really go at it a little bit harder. Isn't that a sad state, though, where we're so worried about velocity in this day and age of baseball that we're purposefully taking tendons out of different part of the body just so I can steal a couple of extra ticks on the radar gun? You know, being an old school guy, and just an old guy in general, I think about all the guys that used to throw hard, like Goose Gossage from the 70s, the closer for the Yankees, who threw 90, 91, and that was gas then. That was as hard as guys were throwing. That was the thing. It's like, oh, my God, he throws 90. Now if you throw 90 in the major leagues, then it better be you look at Louis Varland of the Jays, his changeup is 91.
I mean, he's just ridiculous. Talk about a star is born the last year. My goodness. Here's Andrew Savage. That one misses well wide. Talk about a great catch. Yoshinoda picked that one out of the air. 1-0 the count to, he's no longer the leader, but second in the CBL in designated batting average, the .438 hitter. That one in play, put right at the second baseman. 1 hops, 2 hops, gets it there in time. Monks will throw it to Barrett to record the first out.
Well, I got to say, that was good location by Yokoyama, but if you are up there as a 438 hitter with a 1-ball count, that's not the kind of pitch that you want to be swinging at. That ball was low and on the outside part. He hit it exactly where it was pitched to the only place he could have hit it. That is a strike. If that's a strike, you go ahead and take that strike. As I was talking earlier, you have to you have to be patient, and sometimes you have to give away a first pitch strike, much as Kazemka just did there. That's just a get-me-over curveball. That's not a pitch you want to be hacking at unless you're sitting on it. So if you're sitting on that curveball, you go ahead and hack at it, but nobody sits on that pitch.
That one is put in play. Flown out. Should be catchable, although it's still tracking. Going back, and it does get caught by Austin Gurney, but he had to take a quick couple extra steps. I think he thought that one might go all the way.
Well, he hasn't had a routine can of corn there. It's such a high sky today, and there are some clouds in the sky, and we sure appreciate that. Every once in a while, the sun goes behind the cloud and drops it back down to all the way down to maybe 30 degrees out. He said cynically,
Frigid
but
30 degrees.
A burly 30 degrees. Anyhow, he had a little trouble with that first one, which was high in the sky, and then that one there really carried on him. The strange thing is that there has been quite a breeze. There was quite a breeze blowing pregame, but if you look at the flag out behind center field, it's not moving, and yet you can see the wind moving the treetops behind it. So a bit of a strange kind of a wind going on out there.
First pitch from Yokoyama just misses wide.
And again, that's a good take. That's a pitch that you could hack at, but why would you this early in the count? Patience is so important. Make him come into the zone.
2 outs here. That one misses wide again. Another nice take by Cassidy Watt. I always talk about the power, the swing changes, what Cass has done to make himself so deadly in terms of the long ball. He's also got incredible discipline. There's an example that almost missed wide, decided to check the swing up instead. Yokoyama perfectly picks the bottom corner.
I tell you what, he is, because of the speed of his off-speed stuff, that fastball looks faster than it actually is.
That one is put in play. It'll come down fair. First hit of the day for the Brantford Red Sox. Will bounce its way out towards Gurney. Cassidy Watt, stand-up single.
So that's where we are right there, and that is a great example of what I've been preaching for a couple innings here, is that he took a couple of those pitches that were borderline pitches, took the curveball that came in, and then he got himself a pitch. He waited till he got a pitch up in the zone, and he shot it back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting, and a nice piece of mental hitting as well, going through the at-bat, pitch by pitch.
Next up, Walker Holmgren. That one catches the far side of the plate. Strike one.
Well, the early returns on Holmgren are good. He's got a nice-looking swing. He's got one of those, quote-unquote, left-handed beautiful swings, and he seems to be really good with lefties if on the inner half of the plate. Struggles a little bit on the breaking stuff on the outside, as we just saw there. But if you try and get him in as a lefty on lefty, that's what he's ready for. And so now the challenge for him here at 0-2 is the ability to fight something off here. Wouldn't be surprised if he came back hard with a fastball on the outside.
Here's the 0-2. Up too high. First ball he's seen.
Came with the fastball, but he missed his spot.
Yeah, you talk about the beauty of Holmgren's swing. Wants something in on the hands. Yokoyama clearly, so far, looks like he's well studied. God, I think he won't see much there. Nice job by Holmgren. Didn't even think about swinging at that one. Pitch broke outside on the curveball, 2-2.
That's a great take with 2 strikes, man. That would have been easy to swing at.
That's a guy like Ortega. I think he actually loved to swing at that pitch. Holmgren, it's not his swing. It's not his style to go that wide. Here's the 2-2. Misses well wide. Another good take by Holmgren. Just one walk on a season in a shortened sample size. He's only played about half the games. He'd love his second of the year right here.
So now with 3-2 and 2 out, Cassidy Watt. Barrett won't hold him on. Watt will be off with the pitch here.
3-2. There goes Watt. That one in play. Might find the gap. Gets it to the second baseman. Turns around and he misses it on the transfer. Can't get it clean in the right hand. And he will score on the error by the second baseman.
Well, that's unlucky for Monks because he made a real nice play to get to his left. Interesting. One thing that he probably didn't see, if he'd have seen it, it might have confused him a little bit in that Barrett took 2 steps toward that ball like he was going to get it. Then suddenly he had to turn on a dime and bust it back to first. I think he was going to make it back there in time, but it was to no avail as Monks just bobbled as you mentioned, bobbled the transfer.
So here is Lucas Bateman. Talking about a guy that also wants to get in a bit of a hitting rhythm here. He's got 2 men on in front of him, but 2 outs in the bottom of the second. That one drops in, pulls the pin, but it's ball 1 low.
Well, I spoke to manager Terry Smith specifically about Lucas Bateman. He really struggled with the bat at the start of the year and was playing second base, was DHing a little bit.
That one is put up high in the air. Should be easily caught by Gurney, but he's ranging forward. Doesn't look confident on it. That ball almost dropped again. The right fielder, Kuchera, going to take it. That's a couple that first step, it looked like Gurney thinks to no doubter. By the time it's caught, it's 50 feet away.
Well, I tell you what, I've got this figured out here. There is a strong wind blowing, but it's above the trees. As an experienced golfer, I can tell you all about this wind. The fact that, like I said, the flag is barely moving, which is, 25, 30 feet off the ground. But these trees are somewhere in the 70 to 80 foot range. The top of them are really blowing, and I could tell on the 403 the drive up here that there was a strong breeze blowing. And so what's going on is that the ball is not affected by the wind on a line drive, but when it is hit high up in the air above the tree line, that's when the wind is jumping it from third base to first base. It would be left to right on your radio, as they say. And so balls that are hit off the bat at the center fielder are actually being caught by the right fielder because they're, as you mentioned, they're moving 30, 40 feet to our right from second base toward first base.
We'll take a look here at the games around the CBL. It's going to be a while before the other 2 contests, other than the one running simultaneous to us, get started. There's 2 games that are going to be happening at 6:05 tonight. For now, we are alongside Guelph and Kitchener playing at Jack Couch Park today. And the Guelph Royals take a 2-0 lead there in the top of the second. They now lead, and that game is just another example of why Guelph is going to be so hard to stop. Liam Watt comes in that ball game. He immediately starts dealing. Hasn't looked particularly hittable in that one. I believe Quintana going to be the man he's going up against there in Kitchener. My goodness, that Guelph team. We saw them on Sunday. They looked pretty much unflappable. They were about as advertised in this hitting streak, or this winning streak, I should say, and you know a lot of those guys in that Guelph team. I was saying and alluded to it on Sunday. I think if you told Guelph after that initial start, okay, you're just getting stuff figured out, a lot of new pieces on this team, you're still gelling for chemistry, some people might not have believed you because Guelph really didn't look like a top 3, top 4 caliber team just a season ago. Oh my goodness, the pieces have clicked into place there in just a couple weeks.
Well, one of the advantages of having a manager like Dino Ramel, who's been around for 100 years, is that he understands how the season works, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I watched a interview with him after a game, after a win, I believe it was a week and a half ago. And he was asked, after your slow start, you're winning a lot of games now. What's the difference? And he said, we thought our pitching staff was going to be one of the best in this league, and they are finally starting to show that. They were finally starting to pitch the ball the way that he expected them to pitch it. And so now that makes them a very dangerous team.
That one over the head of the third baseman. Barrett lines it over the third baseman. He's turning around the corner. He's going to try to make it all the way to second. It's going to be close, but he's there in time. Another double for Grayson Barrett on the first pitch he sees in the third inning.
What a beautiful swing that was. Inside-out swing to the tough pitch that was on the inside and just shot it over the third baseman's head with authority. And that's why he's one of the best hitters. And if you didn't vote for him in the All-Star game, then you clearly haven't been watching because he is literally one of the best hitters in this league.
First pitch wide there on Yoshinoda. Yeah, I don't know about you, Brian. You feel free to do whatever you want. I don't tend to kind of put my media ballot out there in the world. I don't necessarily say exactly who I voted for, but I get the feeling there are 2 Grayson Barrett voters in the booth here right now.
Absolutely. Yep.
2 doubles his day. Here's Yoshinoda, who flew out back in the first. That one struck very well. Out to right. It'll get down. Barrett should come around. That one past the right fielder. Black can't get it on the slide all the way to the wall. Oh, you like doubles, Chatham? How about 5 in the first 3 innings? Oh, my goodness. And it's the 2, 3, 4, 5 that accounts for all of them in the lineup. This Chatham-Kent team has come to play. I think the Lumberjack jerseys are giving them superpowers.
Well, They're chopping trees, aren't they? Man alive,
Nice.
they're attacking the baseball.
Well, here we go. Mejia's in a big spot here. He's going to want to get himself back on the horse, start to take the momentum back his way. Here's Gurney, one of the doubles, one of the RBIs as well from back in that first inning. Oh, and up. Does catch the strike zone.
Yeah, I think we just found the top of the zone there.
Oh, 1 the count. A little bit too low. There's ball 1. So Oda out there on second. Not a huge stolen base threat, not much of a lead. Mejia can focus a little more there on the plate. Now just chop straight down, straight foul. Big chance here for K number 3 on the day. As we mentioned, a very warm, very toasty, very muggy Canada Day here. Humidex, if the sun comes out all the way, it's probably going to be up near 46, 47. Great showing, though. Loyal fans, they're ready to see Brantford start to bring this back when they get back on offense. For now, Mejia, big chance to put it out here, top of the third.
Yeah, that's a loyal fan base coming out to a game on a day like this, that's for sure.
Swings and misses over it. That one dropped out quite nicely. First pitch low we've seen for a strike 3 from Mejia.
That's one of the best pitches he's thrown today. It was a strike to ball, perfectly located, started off as a strike and got Gurney to chase. Very important out there. Sorry, Marshall, to get that first out. Runner still in scoring position, and at 3-0, it's important to keep it at 3-0 as long as possible to give your team a chance to score some runs.
Constantino, here he is for the second time today. Walked back in the first. First pitch he sees, he fouls straight back. Sorry, I just saw a text. The girlfriend's out at Rogers Center today. She's at the big Canada Day baseball game there. They have the dome open, which I'm a little bit amazed at, to be honest.
I'm not sure what they're thinking. They opened it up last night right before the game, and you could hear all the complaints, both on the broadcast and online. You could see them as well.
0-1 becomes 0-2. My goodness, almost swung out of his shoes.
As a former season ticket holder and someone who's been going into that building since the first day it opened, if you're going to a day game, you want to get tickets on the third base side or out in left field because they're the ones that get the shade first. If you're in right field today, boy, you are going to bake. Guess that helps them sell those $20 beers.
It sure does. Looks like she's lower bowl just past third base. So.
She'll be in shade by the third inning.
Here's the 1-2. Runner on second. Nice curve, but it can't curve all the way back. Ball 2. So 2-2 to Constantino. It's going to be Kuchera, the next man up, the right fielder. A trio of strikeouts on the day so far for Mejia. The 2 walks. Most important, though, 5 hits allowed, all doubles. 3 of them scored runs.
See if he can replicate that slider he threw to Gurney for the strikeout.
Setting up. He's ready. He kicks and deals. Drops in, sent straight back past him, lined right up the middle, and the runner will come around for 4. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers make it 4-0 off the single by Constantino. He's pretty fired up with the RBI single.
Well, that was unfortunate. That was a softly hit ball that just had eyes and got through a space there. Hulkern playing deep because the ball is really carrying today, and it just a bleeder out of the reach of Cantor, who couldn't get a piece of it to keep it in the infield and stop the run from scoring from second. If he could have at least knocked it down, he'd still be a third, but such it is as it is.
First pitch there. Oh, my goodness. That's belted straight past the third base coach foul. Here's Kuchera up. Struck out back in the first. I guess the silver lining, Brian, here for the Brantford Red Sox is, well, if you're going based on Friday as a template, you still got 9 runs left to play with. You got plenty more time.
Well, after 4, yeah, there's a ball in. There we go. I was just going to say there's a ball in play. Somebody went out to get it and then didn't get it.
Might be waiting for that to get grabbed just for.
Oh, there we go.
That's
I
for
was going to
safety's
say,
sake.
I know there's fans out there that are 30 feet away that could get a free
I
baseball.
was going to say free bag of chips or a free baseball. Either way, you're winning. Might as well go grab it. Now he's ready again. Mejia, the 0-1. That one right down the middle, popped up in the sky, fouled back. 0-2, another big opportunity here for Mejia. One of the big themes of last season, one of the big things we said for Brantford from a pitching perspective, you got to execute, you got to know the count. 2 strikes on the board, you got to finish it off. Chatham's done a really good job this whole weekend getting back at Brantford pitchers even when they're down. Like that, he puts it in play, but just foul. Hooks its way past the third base.
Good pitch there, had him out in front, and that's what you're looking for here with 1 out and a runner on first. You're trying to get him out on his front foot to roll over on something, get a ground ball, and see if your defense can turn a double play here and get you out of the inning.
Kitchener did manage to put a run up on the board, bottom of the second. That one is chopped, is in play. Going to go right to the first baseman. He's just going to make the direct tag there. Kuchera. I hope he's okay. Yeah, a little bit of discomfort on the right leg. Took a really weird hop there as the base runner, Constantino, is going to advance up to second. Nice play there just to take the tag by Cassidy Watt.
Yeah, that was the difference. It was the player who took the bad hop. He tried to jump out of the way of the tag and just put a little bit too much stress on that. I think it was his right knee.
Yeah, right leg just kind of came down a little bit awkwardly on it. Didn't look like he landed flat. I was worried he had pulled something there. So 2 outs now. So Constantino on second. Here's Graining. That one drops out, misses for strike 1. Still no confirmation yet whether he's related to the Simpsons creator. I meant to check that since Friday.
Matt Graining, yeah.
Didn't, but
I was thinking
jury's still out. If you know, let us know in the YouTube chat. I just haven't met that many Grainings. The 1. Misses wide, almost the same spot, but a nice take there by 33.
Brody Black is playing very, very deep. I would like to see him in a little bit. A base hit out that way and give himself a chance to throw the runner out at the plate.
One. Swings and misses again. He has been dominant low with speed. My goodness. Another position with 2 strikes here for Mejia.
Well, now you're in a position where he's leaning out over. You can bust him up and in with a fastball and get a swing and miss. Went back
yes,
outside.
He does. He puts it a little bit wider, gets the result he was looking for. 4th K of the day for Mejia. Graining sat down there on strikes. That will cap off the Chatham side of the inning, but they put 2 more on the board. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers now lead Brantford 4-0 here on a special Canada Day edition of Brantford Red Sox baseball presented by Mr. Lubin Tires. Again, we thank you for joining us. Happy birthday, Canada. What is that, the going to do the quick math here. 159th? 159th birthday? 67. What's the math? 59.
59,
it was right.
Yep.
So there you go. 159 years here at Canada. Like I said, almost the temperature record here in Brantford. What a fun way to celebrate that would have been. Canada, the country infamously known for being 36 degrees here on our day of celebration.
Yeah, but Fahrenheit.
It's ridiculous here, just what we're seeing. But awesome job by everybody involved here today. All of our volunteers, all of the team, all the crew, all the game day, all the fans are coming out today. That's the best part about Canada Day. You're not only celebrating baseball, you're celebrating our nation, the awesome jerseys around the league here today. Love the special occasion. We thank you sincerely for joining us. We hope you all have fun plans. We hope, if you're watching us here on the broadcast, I hope it means you're indoors or in a very nicely, acquainted outdoor viewing space. And we hope you guys stay cool, have a great Canada Day, and you guys have the pleasure of, you're already at home, you can enjoy an alcoholic beverage. We still got to drive home, but my goodness, it is it's just a great atmosphere really around the CBL right now. Doesn't it feel like, Brian, with all the hype, all the excitement building around the All-Star game? I hear voting numbers were really good this year for the All-Star contest. Every team did a good job about advertising it. I think this part of the season, it's just so many teams feel like they're still in play. So many players have the All-Star game to look forward to. It's a good time to be in the summer swing of baseball.
Well, I think what's really changed is that we're talking pennant race now. We're talking about playoff push. That's something we've never talked about. We here in Brantford were the only ones talking about that last year because we were in 9th place in a 9-team league where 8 teams make the playoffs. So for years and years and years before Chatham came into existence, everybody made the playoffs. So there was no real reason to get too excited about anything that was going on in the regular season. But now when there's only 5 teams making the playoffs in a 9-team league, now you've got teams, and you can see them bunching up. All those teams with 7 or 8 losses, all those teams with 11 or 12 losses, they're bunched up now, and you just which one of those teams at the top is going to falter and which one of those teams at the bottom is going to get hot.
That one put in play by Cantor. Sent out to second. Slow roller, though. It's going to have to be a quick throw.
Oh, nice.
It is a quick throw. What a play by Julian Monks.
Very nice play there. Picked it up bare hand. Quick release. Fantastic play by Monks there.
That's a pair that Cantor has just come up short on. One of the quickest base runners in the league. Definitely the quickest on the team. It's tough luck for him to come out 0 for 2 on those first 2 at-bats. Here's Brody Black up after striking out back in the first inning. You make a great point. We didn't even talk about the playoff implications. 2 teams that are tied into today, the 6 and the 7 seed respectively. In a 5-team league as that one drops in for strike 1. 5-team playoff, I should say.
And by the end of this week, we'll be at the halfway point.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one misses wide. Nicely caught by Oda. It's going to be Black. 1 out already in the inning, so definitely going to see Holick. Might see Ortega, Savage, Kazemka the next 3.
Just an update, Miguel Geraldo homered for Guelph. It's now 3-1 for Guelph in Kitchener and now in the bottom of the 3rd.
It's the one thing Geraldo hasn't done a ton of is home runs, and that's it. He has been unbelievable this season.
When you're a coach.
When in coach, that's a good point. 1-2. That one just misses high and wide. Great take by Black.
We'll have to have a shout out, too, to the newest Brantford Red Sox player, Charlie Towers.
Yes, indeed. That one is set up high, foul over the third base fencing. Yeah, Charlie looked great last season in Kitchener. 4 home runs, good numbers, good RBIs there. I believe he hit OPS just under 800, if I'm not mistaken. He's an exciting bat just to add to the rotation of outfield this year.
Yeah, I struggled a little bit to start this season, but he is certainly a quality ball player, certainly belongs in this league. Good ad for the Red Sox.
That one is sent up, out, over the first base fence. Good job by Brody to just keep this one alive.
Was talking to pitching coach Greg Grapp before the game, and he said, you know, it's getting harder and harder to put 9 names down on the batting order every day. There's so much quality on the team now.
That one is struck out. Out to center. Going back. Gurney turning around to go forward on it. He gets there. He's making it look like that first step. He doesn't quite see it right off the bat, but Gurney that time gets back underneath it. So Black flies out. Here comes Tim Holick. Got on a first on an error. That's the one I was talking about. The last time Gurney was out there, didn't quite see the baseball. He and the right fielder disagreed. There's a little bit of a haze going on here. Generally speaking, though, would think the sight lines would be pretty clean.
Well, it's a high sky and can be difficult to see. And then when you lose the ball temporarily because of the wind blowing above the tree line, it isn't where it was on the trajectory that you remembered.
1-0 becomes a ball sent out to right
well
field.
hit.
That might go. It will go. Goodbye, baseball. Timmy Holick. Talk about turning a season around. He is heated up coming down to the All-Star break. I think he wants to go play in Chatham's ballpark in a couple weeks, and another bomb gets Brantford on the board on Canada Day.
Train like a pro, play like a pro. Game ready training.
Well, oh, Canada, Mr. Tim Holick. What a swing of the bat. That one absolutely blasted. It was a high ball there as well. Found a pretty good spot on the barrel, but generally speaking, I think that was really the first very hittable pitch that Yoki almost put out on a right-hander right over the heart of the plate that let him extend his arms.
Well, a real smart piece of hitting, too, and the fact that it was up and out over the plate. He hit the ball where it was pitched. Power hitters love a ball that's up and out, and they just hit it. They let it travel deeper over the plate, and that way they can still get the meat of the bat and send it out to the opposite field with as much velo as a pull side hit.
A 1 to Chris Ortega becomes 0-2 here. Like I said, defending CBL Player of the Week. Was exceptional last week. OPS up over 1,500. Had a number of home runs. His power form has just come back in spades, and the Red Sox have needed it.
Not only a big, powerful, strong guy, but also one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet, too.
That one misses wide. He's also settled in on defense, I would say. He's still rotating around. They've played him at second. They played him at third. I think he's meant to be a purpose-made first baseman, but he's played everywhere, and he's looked really good. He started to settle in after some struggles rotating around on defense last season.
I think maybe his best spot is first base, but he can play third, and, yeah, he played some second base, too.
Now, when he's put up in the air, should be playable. Oda's going to call them off. Gets underneath it to record. The final out there has a fun little moment with Grayson Barrett. That will cap off the third inning. What a start here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, but a home run. The solo shot from Tim Holick is going to put Brantford on the board. Chatham leads 4-1 after the third inning. We'll be right back in a few moments. Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching us from, right here on Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube. We'll be back after a 90-second break. And welcome back. Happy Canada Day, Red Sox fans. We're back at Arnold Anderson Stadium as the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers on the road lead the Red Sox 4-1 through 3 innings. Want to thank our partners here. You can see them on the bottom, but let's show you properly. Let's give you our partners that make the broadcast possible here in Brantford. Mr. Lubin Tires, title partner of the Brantford Red Sox, and your weekly broadcast product for all your car service needs. Go to Mr. Lubin Tires and Brantford or anywhere in Ontario. Next up, we got Montana's Barbecue and Bar, your place for eats, ribs, anything in between. Check out, they got fun seasonal nights. They do ribs night, they do tacos, they do everything. Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Popeyes Supplements, your official supplement provider of the Brantford Red Sox. And they have the awesome preseason packages for the team. Check out Popeyes Supplements. Finally, the Terry Summerhays team on behalf of RE/MAX Realtors. We'll tell you a little bit more later about our other two partners, Game Ready Training. And don't forget, Brantford Red Sox summer camps all the way through the rest of the year. Good arm coming on the mound here for the Brantford Red Sox, league veteran Jose Arias.
Well, Jose started off not so good. In fact, he got hit. His first start of the year was against these same Chatham Barnstormers, where he got hit pretty hard in the first couple innings there and then settled into a decent start, then had a rough outing against, I think it was Barrie, but has bounced back and gave them a really good 2 innings up in Barrie in relief, and he's kind of transitioned from a starter to a reliever, and I think so far it's suiting him, this role. The nice thing about him is he definitely works better from the full windup than the stretch.
Now 1 cent. Slow roller to third. It'll be a hard play by Ortega. It is a hard play. No throw in. Nice job by Mackey to leg out the single.
Yeah, sometimes, that's a couple or three of those softies that have worked out for the Barnstormers so far today. The bleeder up the middle that was the RBI single, and then that little swinging bunt by Mackey down third base line. Obviously, Ortega had no chance on that one.
7th hit of the day here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. 2nd single. The first 5 hits, all doubles.
So with the top of the order and a runner on first, 3-run lead, I don't know if you'll see a bunt here or not, but Ortega's in on the grass just in case.
Here's Julian Monks. That one up a little bit too high for ball 1. Monks 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out his day so far.
I was just going to say that he hasn't had a whole lot of success off of Mejia, but with Arias throwing, who is not real good at keeping runners close.
That one drops in. It's hit well. Out to center. Underneath it is Holmgren. He makes the catch. Nice play there. Lined it straight to the center fielder. First out of the inning.
Well, I tell you what, the scouting report on Holmgren is absolutely accurate in the fact that he's an elite level center fielder out there, and the way he drifts and tracks baseballs has been really impressing me over the last 2 or 3 weeks that he's been in this league.
Doesn't always have the perfect first step, but he's so quick to adjust, so quick to change his original perception of where the ball's going as that one's put high and wide. Andrew Savage, my goodness. Get this guy playing football in the offseason. Some of these catches are ridiculous.
Those go-go gadget arms, right?
One of those claw grabbers you get as a kid, the little pop-up glove. 1-0. It's Mackey on first. Here's Evan Morrison. Now one struck out to right. Should be playable on a rope. Right there to Brody Black as he goes. He overshoots the bag. The throw back to first. And the mistake by Robert Mackey will end the inning just like that. Quick 9-3 double play there to take out Mr. Mackey. Azarias gets out of it in pretty quick succession the way that play played out.
Oh, yeah, it was fortuitous there. The fact that he got the rope hit right at Black. And did you see the throw by Black back into first base? Cassidy Watts set up a target at his chest, and Black nailed it. He didn't have to move the glove at all. That was pretty impressive.
I almost wish that Mackey had tried to run back to make the play look cooler, but that throw, it would have got him had he gotten it right away. So, well, there you go. Not a bad start there. Arias at least gets through the inning in pretty quick order. You alluded to it. Do you know who he reminds me of from what I've seen? Hasn't quite had the success that this pitcher had last season at the ballpark. It's kind of like how Welland has adjusted Pedro de los Santos. The role he played last season, well, obviously in Brantford, he had to be a workhorse. You could tell he was throwing more innings than he wanted to early in the year because Brantford didn't want to go deep in the bullpen. The role he's played in Welland, he's ultra effective in small sample sizes. Nice middle inning arm. Total switch up from what you often see with the starters.
Well, he's really tough on left-handed hitters, and my belief at the time that they acquired him last year was that they got him specifically for Barrie, who have got the meat of their order, which is all left-handeders. And so when
that worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, when you're anticipating playing Barrie in the playoffs, you better have a couple of good left-handed pitchers ready because the meat of their order is from the left side, much like Welland is.
You made I loved your point earlier about the idea of playoff teams. More teams really care about the playoffs right now. More teams care about seeding, getting in. Talk about that point as well. Look at how Hamilton's blowing out London. No team really has the rest of the league's number. It's obviously there's a lot of parity. Anybody's beating anybody, and there's some weird head-to-heads where certain teams, you can't really prep for one opponent in the final like you have in years past. You got to be ready for anybody now.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Hamilton's arms.
That's ridiculous.
They have the ability to be a dark horse to win a championship this year. Owen Boone was throwback version of Owen Boone his last start.
Yeah, holy cow.
Of course, they blew out London. They didn't just beat him. I think it was 11-1. It was 10-0 at one point. And that's not something London's used to this season.
It's kind of a sequel there, the situation with the pitching in Hamilton. It's kind of the sequel to the joke last year about how the All-Star game was the North versus Welland. This year, it's kind of the Hamilton starters versus the world. Right?
Absolutely.
That one put wide and outside for ball 2. Here's Andrew Savage up again. Grounded out there to open up the second inning.
Yeah, it was a real challenge. That All-Star voting was a real challenge for me. We've seen That's the first time he's gone that far out, but fair enough. It was a real challenge in the fact that you look at a guy and you go, okay, this is the guy I want for this position. Then you scroll down and you go, oh, yeah, well, there's
Right,
that guy.
there's that
Oh,
guy.
well, then there's that guy too. And that happened to me 4 or 5 different
Center
times.
field is ridiculous.
Center field was really tough.
How do
First
you do
base was really tough. Shortstop was really tough.
I guess it's outfield, but man, the center fielders in particular this year just hitting like maniacs.
I would kind of like to have seen, and I don't want to be overly critical of the league here, but I would kind of like to have seen just outfielders grouped together like they do in the major leagues. Like it could be, maybe I want to vote for 3 center fielders.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
an outfield is an outfield is an outfield. And frankly, they move around a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're pretty static in Brantford here where we've got Black in left and Hultgren in center and either Anantone or Kazemka out in left.
Mm-hmm.
But outfielders move around a little bit in this league. Case in point, Gio Morello normally playing center field. He didn't play center field last time they were here. And, of course, tonight we've got Gurney playing center field, and he didn't play center field
He's
last
played
week.
left quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
So I would just like to see maybe in the future just lump all the outfielders in and then just pick your favorite 3.
Here's Christian Kazemka, a few moments after the walk from Andrew Savage. Swings and misses past that one. 1-1. And yeah, the other thing about voting I like too is having just the DH can be anybody. Last year it was a true DH. It kind of compressed the voting order a bit.
Yeah, I feel like they just took everybody and threw them all into the DH pool, which I thought, to be honest, after I thought about it, I thought it was quite fair in the context of if I've got a first baseman that I want to vote for, but I can't because, let's say, and I don't mind saying it, I voted for Barrett, sorry.
Yep.
But there are other really good first basemen in his category, and you'd like to have them in as well. So you think, I want them both in. You know, Macabroda is a tough guy to not vote for, so you say, okay, I'm not going to vote for.
That one struck right to the third baseman on a rope, coming back as Savage gets back there in time. First out on the liner.
Well, unlucky for Kazemka.
But yeah, it's a great point. It was such a fun year. For me, it was starter. Starter was the toughest position. It always is because I think you really gotta take into account defensive value, small sample size. What do you value? I'm a big innings pitched guy. I like sample size even at this point in the year. I like guys that have pitched all the way through.
Yeah, I kind of eliminated everybody who had less than, at least in the starters. I eliminated everybody who had less than 10 innings pitched, even if they have a reputation of, you know what I mean?
Yep, even relievers for me. You haven't pitched 10 innings yet.
But for relievers, it was kind of tough to get 10 innings pitched when you've only got 18 games in, because some guys are just one-inning guys. And I think of Hamilton specifically.
Yep.
A lot of their relievers are just one-inning guys. Brantford's bullpen is more of a kind of a throwback in that, you know, we've got guys that'll, like a Halden Craig, who comes out and
4 innings a game.
Seems to pitch 3 or 3.1 or 3.2 every time he comes out. Whereas Jorge De La Cruz, he is a one-inning guy by and large, just about every time he throws.
Who will occasionally do too. Watt, unfortunately for him, he's going to want that one back. Swings over a ball there in the dirt. That is the first strikeout of the day for Yuri Yokoyama.
So the other thing too is that I thought they might have more starters. And like when you look at a Major League All-Star game, there's going to be 10 or 12 pitchers on.
Right, you're rotating
everybody. The starter, the guy voted in or the guy they picked to start the game, might pitch 2, almost never pitches 3.
Yep.
So I thought you would have at least, you know, I thought there would be at least 4, maybe 5 starters to go in. And even if they don't get in, it's just an honor to get in.
Exactly.
And then you've got 2 or 3 relievers, and so you've got 7 or 8 pitchers to get through a 9-inning game. Keeping in mind, you've got all the best hitters in the league here. And the last thing you want to see is a guy throwing 35 or 40 pitches in an inning because he's getting knocked around a little bit, right? So I would have liked to have seen more pitchers because I think they should take 9 or 10 pitchers because you don't want to see anybody get over 30 pitches. Not to mention the fact you're right in the middle of a weekend where we're playing, and so a guy may have started Thursday night and thrown 105 pitches.
a good
and
point.
then the All-Star game Saturday night, he's not throwing.
Short turnaround.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if
No,
one
it's
of the
great point.
guys, Ben Abram, for example, if he gets voted in, he's certainly going to, Welland's going to, with the battle that Welland's in, they're certainly going to want him to throw on a game on the weekend. So if Ben throws at their regular home date on Thursday night, 105 pitches against a Barrie or whoever they're playing, then I'm sure Welland's brass is going to say, well, now Ben,
Yeah, he's not playing.
Ben cannot be throwing Saturday night in the All-Star game after throwing 105 on Thursday.
2-2 the count. Holmgren swings and misses up high. Yokoyama didn't have a strikeout through his first 8 batters. He's got 2 back-to-back. That'll cap off the 4th inning. He is really starting to find his spot. Fine wine situation. He's getting better with age. It's going to be Bateman to lead it off. A rare inning that Jacob Cantor does not lead off today, as is often the case. He is the lead off not just in the first inning, but in pretty much every inning he comes in. The Red Sox defense going to take back to the field. Let's take a look at our out-of-town scores. We will give you the rundown here as it's again just the one ball game right now, but again, we want to introduce you to the 2 ball games that are going to take place later today. You have a chance to watch those as well in addition to our game. It is going to be Kitchener and Guelph going into the bottom of the 4th inning here momentarily. Guelph leads Kitchener 3-1, that score right now. Later today, Barrie goes over to Labatt to play London. That's a 6:05 start time. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Barrie and London. Talk about 2 teams that are probably the ones you got to circle if you're any team in the league. Okay, let's have something ready for these guys in the playoffs. They both looked exceptional. And then Toronto at Welland. It's fascinating, actually. I was going to pull the number up. Maybe we'll talk about it later when we get to the standings. But Toronto and Welland, I would say, that's a pretty – statistically, you got to favor Welland quite strongly in that game. They haven't looked particularly exceptional at home. They seem to have their kryptonite a little bit more playing in Welland than they do anywhere else, in the league. They were dominant last season on the road, had the door open a little bit when they played at home. This year especially, I believe the road teams have a winning record versus home, which – with the travel, kind of surprises you, you'd think.
Definitely, that's a surprise. I know that Brantford's record, I think they're 4-4 at home and they're well under 500 on the road. But I mean, you look at those top 5 playoff teams, 2 losses separate them all from 6 losses to 8 losses. They played a different amount of games, but I mean, there is nothing to separate those first 5 teams.
So some quick math. I take it back. 47-40, the home record on the season, but nothing ridiculous. It is great to see teams on the road this year. Not only the parity, but that teams on the road can come in, not only pick up big wins, but absolutely blow teams out of the water. There's never an off day. There's never an assumed result here in the Canadian Baseball League, and that's why it's cool. I like the data. I like the statistics, putting together the percentage on the CBL website. Take a guess, take a hack at what you think the score will be. But that's what's beautiful about stats, is you never really do know. Here's Jose Arias back for the top of the 5th inning after a very brief top of the 4th. That one put right up in the air, sent foul, strike 1.
Well, and up comes the doubles machine, Grayson Barrett, who has hit one down the line first base in the first inning, then hit one down the line third base. So talk about your classic spray hitter.
Yeah, like clockwork, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Does he have another one up in the 5th? Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one chopped right back to Arias. Oh, Barrett takes a spill. Hopefully he's all righty. As he was dropping the bat, caught his foot there on the ground, tripped over. Looks like he's okay. He'll walk it off. That would have hurt. Landed directly on his knee. A little bit of a limp, but we'll hope he'll be okay.
Yeah, we hope he's okay. And there's good news and bad news. The good news is he's okay. The bad news is he's probably going to hear about that back in the dugout, tripping over the batter's box or whatever. It's happened to many a fantastic ball player coming out of the box, just trip over your own feet or
I think he
what
might have
have
actually
you.
tripped off the bat when he threw it. That one right up
Wow.
in the air. Should be playable
That
again.
is a major league pop-up.
My goodness, that's up there. Oh, nobody will get there in time. Miscommunication. Juan Savage going to take a chat. I think somebody misheard the other. Both looked like they thought it was each other's before it was too late. Already had come down. Those are the little outs you're going to want back. You think about it, all right, maybe this at bat. What if it goes 5 pitches? What if that's 4 you could have saved? 4 pitches can be a big difference for a guy in relief. Arias, the pace he was going through this ball game, if that gets caught, He could be here into the deep innings. He could play all the way to the 7th at that pace.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the catcher's ball, but the first baseman's got to be busting it in to be able to take that play in case the catcher, because it's harder for the catcher than it is for everybody else. It was a long run for Cassidy Watt. It looked right from the start like Savage did not know where the ball was.
That one's inside on the hands for ball 2. To be fair, though, how many catchers have Cassidy Watt, a guy as assertive as he is on defense, usually a catcher, playing first base for them? Like, that's 2 alpha personalities that are playing out there simultaneously on defense. 2-1. That
Nice
one
pitch
clips
there.
the far side. Nice pitch.
But Jose Arias looks very good today. It's all around the strike zone. Throwing that heavy, heavy ball of his.
5th battery's faced. No strikeouts yet. Here's the 2-2. Going straight back there off the bat. Keeping it alive is Oda.
That hard slider that he used to make his living when he played in London.
If you're just joining us here in Brantford, we welcome you in. Chatham leads Brantford 4-1 here, top of the 5th inning. Happy Canada Day to all of our viewers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is popped up back over our heads. The sun's come out. The clouds have departed there, Brian. We'll see if that plays a notable impact on visibility, but it's getting toasty here again. Easily up into the mid-30s.
Yeah, we've been fortunate for the first half of this game to not have the sun beating down on us. But as we all know, in these games, the sun kind of starts hitting us around the 6th or 7th inning as a rule.
Ball set to second. Cantor easily the throw to Watt. In for the second out.
And just another really good heavy outside pitch there to get the hitter to roll over on that one, Oda.
Might be the team's 2 best defenders linking up on that play. Cantor and Watt, of course, playing out of conventional position for the both of them. Really looking forward to when Cantor can get back to short. The timelines I've been hearing could be as soon as this Saturday, pardon me.
Had a chat with Cantor before the game today. Asked him how the hose is. He said he's starting to build up some pressure and should be on to full pour in the next week or 2.
That one played right past Cantor. Getting down is the ball by Gurney. He'll run it at the first. Another double he's going to try for. This might get there in time. The throw in. They got him. He came off too far off the bag. Gurney face down in frustration. Great job to leg it out. It was a small margin. If that throw hits square on the second baseman, he's out by a couple steps. He had a chance, though, because of the missed throw, but he overshoots the bag. That'll end the inning.
Yeah, he had it there. And I tell you what, I saw him come out of the box and, good on him, Gurney, I mean, and the fact that I saw him busting it down first base. When that ball lined in between outfielders, he was top speed going around first. At no point was he not thinking about second base, and he was there, except for the momentum took him off the bag, and a good job by, I think it was Cantor that laid the tag on him to stay with him. That's something that we really impress upon the young kids, middle infielders. When you go to put a tag on a guy, keep that tag on him because you just never know when he's going to slide off the bag.
Well, here comes Yokoyama back for his 5th inning of work, looking to officially designate himself in contention for the win and a quality start today. Still only 1 run allowed through 4. It's going to be Bateman, Cantor, Black, your next 3 up. If they can wrap back around a hole like that's a pretty good inning. You kind of almost like an inning where you start with Bateman up at the end of, or to start an inning with Cantor behind him. Then you do a Cantor Black Holick just by hitter profile, right? Black wants to hit that baseball deep, wants to produce RBIs. Bateman's a guy at his ceiling. Good discipline. Is a guy that can put the ball in play, well grounded. He's playing a tough Chatham defense, but this is a kind of an order of things we don't see much. We always joke about it. Cantor is always leading off innings here in Brantford, which is good. But he doesn't really have that. What we had last season comes to mind. Takioka right into Paulos when he was hitting back up at 325. Then the big power bat. That was perfect to put runners on for league RBI leader Chris Ortega. This is something that if this came up more often, if Bateman was the guy to lead into Cantor, I think Brantford would give Black, Holick, Ortega better opportunity to rack up RBIs like they did last year.
Well, and to add to that point, you have to factor in the fact that Bateman had a very rough start to the season. He was batting, I mean, let's face it, he was batting bingo numbers, like
Yes,
075.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's now batting around 260, 270 gives you an indication how hot he's been the last 2 or 3 weeks. He is actually one of the hotter hitters. Was it Friday night against these same Barnstormers where he had 3 hits?
Yep.
2 doubles and a single.
He'd love to see that again here as that one misses well wide off the plate for ball 1.
And I was going to bring that up in his first at bat, but he hit the first pitch, so I never got a chance. So that's the nice thing about the turnaround on this batting order. It is lengthened to the point where the number 9 hitter is one of the hotter hitters on the team.
And you always love that, right? Like, I know we think of it in the binary. We think of, some people think, all right, best hitters in order or best hitters with power in the middle. In a perfect world, you truly can wrap around and get your offense going cyclical. That one misses well high, well wide for ball 2.
Well, there's a popular misconception that the worst hitter in the lineup is the 9 hitter, and that's not the truth at all. If ever, as a manager, I was trying to hide a hitter, I would hide him in the 8 hole because I want my 9 hitter to have some semblance of either on-base percentage, hitting, or base running, or any combination therein, so that if he gets on to lead an inning, I can put a play on with the leadoff hitter because I know the leadoff hitter, I can count on him for contact.
That one's inside for ball 3. Bateman confirms that the home plate umpire gets himself to a full count. You make that point. Now new MLB All-Star second base starter Ernie Clement. Where did he do the bulk of his building up his on-base percentage last season? Did it in the 9 hole. Earned his way up to the top of the lineup, similar to what we've seen from a couple hitters here in Brantford.
Yeah, he's maybe the exception to the rule where he found a home in the 8 hole. But, he's fouled it off his foot there, I believe.
Was just confirming. Yeah, didn't get an initial ruling, but yeah, it didn't look like it stayed in play.
Home plate umpire jumped up right away, came out behind the plate calling foul ball.
On deck is Jacob Cantor. Guy, like we said earlier, he's almost legged out 2 grounders already. Takes quite the throw to beat him. Here's the full count pitch. Yokoyama facing Bateman. Bateman puts that one up in the air, out to right. Should be playable there for the right fielder. Still running. Hopping, catch. Hop, skip, and a jump, and the grab for Lee Kuchera. First out of the inning. Heartbreak for Bateman.
And I want to give a shout out to Sue Graining, who has confirmed the fact that Andy has no relation.
No relation, all right.
To the Simpsons creator.
I just love the name. I don't know too many Grainings. This is why I say it. Shout out to Sue. Thanks for joining us. Next man up here is Jacob Cantor. That one is struck. First pitch he sees right at the third baseman. What a catch by Graining. Speak of the devil. My goodness.
Dope.
Gosh darn it. Graining, what a snag. Line directly to the third baseman. Cantor, he's often known to swing at the first pitch. Usually that's not the results he gets. Already 2 outs put in quick succession on the board here. The Chatham defense has looked steadfast today. Here is Brody Black. That one inside, bounces away, ball 1.
Well, that's one of the few hittable pitches from Yokoyama today. Cantor jumped all over it, unfortunately for Brantford fans, right at the third baseman.
That one fouled back as well. 1-1 now the count. Yokoyama. Next pitch going to be his 70th of the day. Really strong start here for him. 1 is Black with Holick on deck. That one misses high, misses wide, ball 2. Yokoyama's ready. Catches it on the far side of the plate. Beautiful pitch there for strike 2.
Black clearly disagreed with that one, but I think we've seen that pitch called several times today.
He's been definitely consistent there on the edges. Left and right. Here's the 2-2. That That one put foul. Nice job there again by Black to keep it alive. No short brief at bats for him tonight. Had one that went really deep, struck out back in the first, flew out on, I believe, the 9th pitch of it back in the 3rd inning. Two again. Cloud finally comes over. Wins pick it up here at Arnold Anderson. That one goes high. Full count again for Yokiyama. He's been in a couple of these positions, more or less as advertised. Puts the ball in play, gets it to contact, but the defense has been awesome there in the infield, so he's had good support behind.
Another good at bat from Brody Black here.
That one is put up in the air, looking playable. Out to get it is the right fielder, Kuchera, and he'll make the catch. Textbook grab, that'll end the 5th inning. Great day today for both defenses. The Barnstormers continue to hold steady. 4-1 still the advantage after the solo home run from Maholik a couple innings ago. 3-run deficit as we head into the final 4 innings of our special Canada Day action here at Arnold Anderson and Brantford. We'll run away, take a quick look at the All-Star game and a quick 90-second break. We will be back before you know it here on Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube. Don't go anywhere as we finish off a great day of baseball.
Get ready, Chatham-Kent. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham-Kent, it's our time. The All-Star weekend of the new CBL era.
And welcome back to Arnold Anderson and Brantford. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Marshall Crocker joined alongside Brian Hawley as we take you back into Canadian Baseball League action. Canada Day special, both the special jerseys for each side, and in them, the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers lead the Brantford Red Sox 4-1 as Anthony Portulato takes the mound. This is high, Mrs. Wide on the first pitch. It's Constantino, the first man up. Kuchera and Graining will be the next two. Like you said, really impressed, Brian, with what we saw from Jose Arias. As he comes out of the ball game, there is that textbook, beautiful breaking ball, but it just misses outside. That curve, my goodness. Portulato, he'd strike me out 100 times out of 100 with the way that pitch breaks.
Well, first of all, I have to agree with you. Definitely another good outing for Arias, who 2 shutout innings, just like he did last time out.
Low fastball gets inside there on Constantino for strike 1.
So we also saw a good bounce back outing for Portulato in his last outing on Friday night, and so Brantford fans are certainly hoping for another good outing from him.
Swings and misses past that one. High heat on Constantino.
He certainly has the arm to be successful at this level, that's for sure. He's got the stuff, throws hard, he's got that really sharp breaking curveball or slider. I think he calls it a curveball.
Portulato kicks and deals on 2-2. Gonna say he missed somewhere. Ball 3, full count now. Kuchera on deck. This is the first batter of the top of the 6th inning.
So getting the bottom of the order, good chance for Porcelato to have a strong inning, get a quick inning, get his team back up, give him a chance to cut into this lead.
Porcelato said a couple of games this year he's come in games that were more or less already out of reach. This one very much still in play for him. High stakes here, 3-2. One is fouled back. Nice job to keep it alive by Constantino. Plenty of red here at the ballpark, including on both jerseys. Particularly the third base grandstand, pretty packed here today. Unfortunately, not the one we have on camera.
It's not a great day to watch a ball game, I'll be honest with you. It'd be tough to get me out to a ball game today, but we get shades, so nice.
And we get strikeouts. Oh my goodness, Porcelato at fastball low. He's placing it well. Couldn't quite find the breaking ball on the first couple pitches, but when he got that fastball going, Constantino had nothing for him.
And Constantino knew it as soon as it came in.
So Kuchera and Graining the next two. Lee Kuchera 0 for 2 here today. Strikeout, and then got tagged running to first. That one up in the air, should go foul. No play for Cassidy Watt. Just keeping an eye here around the league. Kitchener has now taken the lead against Guelph at Jack Couch. Bottom of the 4th, 4-3 over there. That one misses wide. Nicely caught again by Savage. Evens it up at 1. Yeah, Porcelato, great pitch mix. He can put a pitch anywhere on paper. It's just the location. It always seems like he's trying to find one pitch for the first couple batters until he can dial it in. Let's put up in the air again. Nice job here. Switching up where he's looking. Kuchera hasn't been able to catch up to anything quite yet. 1-2 the count. Seeing some intermittent cloud cover coming in. You can probably see it there on your camera. Finally going to give a little bit of relief to these infield defenders. Right in the sun. Inside on the hand. Swings way in towards the batter. That is the second K in quick succession for Porcelato.
Well, he sure tied Kuchera up on that one.
Former champion is Porcelato, of course, with last year's Welland Jackfish. He's playing like it here today. Andy Graining, the next man up. 0 for 1 today, but did have a walk back in the second. That one bounces away, misses wide. No base runners to take advantage. 1-0. Andrew Savage still the man behind the plate. Talked about we may see a Watt-Savage defensive switcheroo. Nothing yet as that one's put up and foul once again. Plenty of contact this inning, Brian, just none of it going forward.
Well, it's a long day at the office for a catcher to work 9 innings today. I'd be surprised and equally impressed if Savage catches 9 innings. Same with Oda. I know they love having his bat, but like I say, nice pitch there.
1-1 right down the middle. Make it 1-2 here for Graining. Next pitch could end the inning in what's been a great first inning of relief for Porcelato.
Porcelato's really got the velocity going there. He seems pretty amped up for such a hot day. Ouch. Ow.
Caught him in the lower leg. Just outside of where he's got the leg guard there for Andrew Savage. He'll stay in. That would have been a painful shot, though. It'll stay 1-2 as that one wasn't caught off the bat. Robert Mackey on deck if he's needed. 1-2, though, 2 outs.
Right back to the fastball here. No sense taking your foot off the gas, I shouldn't think. And
swings and misses past it.
Or you could throw the slider.
I always talk
What
about
do I
he's got
know?
everything in the arsenal. Has a deadly slider, deadly curveball. It's all about the placement. Porcelado, 1 batter, 2 batter, 3. Bang, bang, bang. 3 Ks in the inning.
Striking out the side. Boy, howdy. How good does he look today?
Easily the best inning he's pitched in a Red Sox uniform. What a day to do it. Canada Day of all days. Oh, it is pizza time here at Arnold Anderson as the Domino's fan of the game takes place. Loudest fan in particular, and really good showing. A lot of families out here for a special Canada Day of baseball and plenty of traditions. Let us know there in the YouTube chat. Let us know, what is your Canada Day tradition? What are you out doing? You do a sport every year, you let us know. One thing you could be doing this summer and starting later this week on July the 6th, Brantford Red Sox and Game Ready Training. Kids 2026 summer camps kicking off there. If your kid's an aspiring baseball player, loves being active, or you just need something to do with the young ones here throughout the summer season, check out Brantford Red Sox and Game Ready Training Kids Summer Camps in the new year. You saw the address down there below, or you can find it below our YouTube video. Also want to thank Aventry Medical, our official away partner there on the road, our official training team for every Brantford Red Sox traveling road game. They set the standard in event medicine. And finally, it's going to be Game Ready Training. If you want to book now to train with the pros, Tim Holick and a variety of other great talented coaches out there can help you get your game up to the next level. Game Ready Training, your place to train to get you in CBL readiness. I don't know. It would take me a number of years, a number of sessions, probably more than Game Ready Training would give me time for to ever become even a minor league or any sort of league capable hitter. I always wanted to play as a kid. It's a sport that I always wish I had spent more time with, but for me, did some basketball, did some football as a kid. I think with my concussion issues, it's too dangerous to have me getting pitched at that hard. But if you want to get to your best as a player, summer camps is a good start if you're younger, if you're a little bit older, and even if you're all the way up to the collegiate level. Tim Holick and the team at Game Ready Training will get you in good shape. Speaking of, here's the man himself, Tim Holick, the number 3 man, going to lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th as the Red Sox still 3 runs left to make up in the late stages of this Canada Day ballgame. First pitch drops into the bottom corner for strike 1.
Well, it's been a pretty impressive display thus far for Yokoyama. He's as advertised. He only had 1 strikeout going into the 4th inning. Picked up 2 more there. But he has been in and out, up and down, mixing up speeds, throwing a lot of strikes. And I don't think he's walked any more than the 1 hitter, right? Just 1.
Just the 1 today.
And that's the thing. When you get known as a guy who throws strikes, you get guys into swing mode pretty easily.
Yeah, only half a walk per inning coming into today. Usually you'd think if your walks are comparable to your strikeouts, you're walking too many batters. No, his profile doesn't need him to strike out that many.
Strike out that many, although he struck out 3 today, which is a lot for him.
2-1, that one put up in the air. Another weak ball set up and out over the infield. Yokoyama induces contact that is put right up to the shortstop. Nicely caught there by Morrison.
And there was a late breaking, what looked like to be a cutter that busted in on the hands of Holick. And he did all with it that he could. When you hit a ball off the fists, you aren't going to hit it past second base most likely. So,
well, here is Chris Ortega. 0 for 2 here today. Fly out deep and a pop out there. His day so far. Again, defending player of the week. That one slides away arm side. It's going to be 0-1 here early.
And that's just a great way to start a batter off with a fastball at the knees on the outside on the black. And that's how you get a guy down in the count.
That one is up in the air. Should be playable for the right fielder. Catch is made. Kuchera. Another easy out recorded. Yokoyama, he's only picked up his steam and his pace as the game's gone on. When you induce so much good contact and your defense is as certain as they've been today, you're going to get through innings pretty darn quickly. Andrew Savage, the next man up, 0 for 1, walked back in the 4th inning, his day so far. The league-leading designated batting average was up at .465 earlier in the season. It's dropped steadily through the weekend. He'd love a hit here. That one drops in. He does get a hit, but another one that looks playable. Out there at center and right. They're both under it. Kuchera's the man to catch it. And that was an inning, I believe, was just completed on 4 pitches.
I was just going to say, he threw more warm-up pitches than he did actual pitches.
Unbelievable stuff. Well, Feels like we barely sat down to get ready for the 5th, and we're already through the 6th. Quick succession here, the inning as we get run. I mean, after Friday's contest, it feels like these two teams should play 4 or 5 hours apiece every time they get together. We're making up for the lost hours we spent on Friday.
Very much the antithesis of Friday's game, definitely, because you remember I think we were an hour and 40 minutes to play 3 innings.
That's right. Very long,
Because it
early,
was
because Brantford gets out
9-7.
to the lead, right? Yeah.
And so 4-1 ball game, and 2 runs in the first off 3 consecutive doubles, and then 2 runs in the third off a couple more doubles. And then the solo shot by Holick in the 4th inning, I believe it was. Just flying right along here now.
Well, the defense and the pitcher, Anthony Porcelato, get ready to go back to work after a great sit him down inning there for Porcelato. 3 strikeouts here on the day. That ties the number the Red Sox as a unit had heading into his relief appearance. We'll be right back after a quick 90-second break right here on Brantford Red Sox Baseball on CBL YouTube. And welcome back on Brantford Red Sox CBL Canada Day Baseball, presented by Mr. Lubin Tires. Marshall Crocker alongside Brian Hawley, already into the final 3 innings here in Brantford. Top of the 7th, ready to kick off. Anthony Porcelato back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work as the Brantford Red Sox trailed the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers 4-1. First pitch drops in, a little bit too high. Ball 1 here to Mr. Robert Mackey up for the 3rd time today. Bottom man in the order, but he's already got a single on the day for himself.
Nice pitch there.
Beautiful curveball. Drops in for strike 1.
That's a really good location where it came in up on the hands where there's no way he was going to swing at it, and then breaks down and catches a piece of the plate on the way by.
Setting up 1-1. No swing. Called ball there by the home plate umpire. 2-1.
Just up a bit.
Well, how huge would it be for Porcelato to hold a run off the board in this inning just to really build the confidence in the offense? Brantford always knows they can pull 3 runs out in any given inning. That one struck up in the air. Should be easily playable for the left fielder. Kazemka going forward. Cantor going back. Cantor the one to play it. Pardon me, that's Bateman out there on shortstop today. Forced to have it after the strong start to the year he had. Speaking of, though, Bateman hasn't been called on much there at shortstop today. He's looked pretty consistent. He's looked really good on that first step. Always a good infielder. Typically, though, we associate him with second.
Well, one thing that I've been wanting to talk about today, I was talking to the manager, Terry Smith, about Lucas Bateman. And he had that rough start. And then Cantor got hurt. And it just seems like the management just said to Lucas, go out there, play short, give us good defense. We'll bat you in the 9-hole. Whatever hitting you get, give us as a bonus. We just want you to go out and give us a good shortstop. And I really feel like
that one set right at the third baseman. Ortega, the throw. Gets it to Watt in time. Nice range off there on the bag. Nice extension by Watt. Brantford, another quick inning of pitching this ball game. We've all got dinner reservations here late. Everybody's speeding it up late.
Just to finish that thought, you take the pressure off the batter and just tell him to focus on the fielding. And when you take the pressure off the hitting, you stop thinking so much. Next thing you know, you get a little blurb, a bloop, a duck snort, whatever you want to call it.
Bunt showed, bunt done. And rolling off towards third. That one is going to roll foul.
And next thing you know, he's hitting 260 and he's, solid. So congratulations to him.
It's kind of it feels very similar to last year, to bring a name back, the Max Schmarter rule from last year. Remember his kind of process on shortstop? That was kind of the same tone. I kept hearing from everybody off the field, we're going to give you innings. Like, we're going to give you time. We're going to give you an ability to prove yourself that you can be not perfect, not the league leader and batting average or anything, but a consistent hitter that can prove as productive as you are on defense. Schmarter didn't quite find it in his time with the Red Sox. Bateman, though, like you talk about, they've given him that leash and he's taken it. And again, you don't need perfect defense when you're, second baseman, shortstop. If you're good on the base pass, if you're effective when you get on, and you're good on defense, you just have to hit to a passable level at offense. He's doing better than that now. 0-2 here. Portulato could end the inning quickly. Morrison puts that one up over the head of the shortstop into left center. It'll roll and it'll keep going. Nice slide by Kazemka to keep the ball in front. Almost a chance. And it'll roll past. Nicely grabbed there by Watt. Had it gone past him, that would have been a triple. But luckily for him, Morrison, only the double there on a ball that was well hit out into the gap.
Just another case of Evan Morrison doing Evan Morrison things, man. Just reached out, stroked it over the shortstop's head, into the gap. Good runner, busting hard out of the box. Makes a good turn at first and stretches it into a double when a lot of guys probably couldn't do that. So, we saw that case earlier in the game with, I believe it was Gurney, who stretched that single in a double and just slid past the bag. Good aggressive base running, and that shows any kids that are watching the broadcast today, that just goes to show you, when you hit the ball, you bust it out of the box because you never know when that extra base is available to you.
First pitch outside there on Grayson Barrett. Mr. Double himself here today. He's had an incredible season all the way through this year with the big bat. A lot of them home runs, but his double productivity, man, he can leg it out for a guy of his size and his power. Looking at 1-0 with Morrison on second. A little bit too high.
I'm in no hurry to throw strikes.
No.
To Grayson Barrett if I am the Brantford Red Sox here. In fact, at 2-0, you might just put him on.
Not exactly going to get much relief behind him from Gurney, but you make the great point.
Well, it's Oda first, and, Oda is a very good hitter, but he's not Grayson Barrett.
A little more strikeout happy. You hope he can get the swing and the miss, which you've seen from Portulato. He's got the stuff to induce strikeouts here today as a new arm warming up in the bullpen. It's a fan favorite. I know one of your favorites. I believe that's Holden Craig getting set up.
Is that 24? Yeah, it is.
And what's the rule about Holden Craig there, Brian? If he comes in, he's probably not coming out.
Yeah, pretty much. Seeing as we're already in the 7th.
That one struck right past Cass, but he almost gets the glove on it. The throw-in could get the runner going home. Black, nice throw, not quite in time. Second throw tries to second, and it bounces out of the glove. The Red Sox could have had that out two different ways. Black almost got it there. Really nice throw again from him in the right field. Didn't quite have the time. Nice job there by the runner. Morrison will come around there on the RBI double. There to Grayson Barrett. You talked about it. You're playing with fire. You always have the opportunity. If you're going to pitch like he's in a hitter's count, Barrett's going to barrel you deep. Third double on the day. Second for an RBI.
Yeah, Portulato is talking to the dugout. So out comes Greg Rapp to visit the mound, and that was kind of an interesting. I saw him point to the dugout, and it got my attention while you were making your point. And Rapp came out of the dugout, and I wonder if he's okay because he was throwing so well.
Now, Holden, I've noticed Holden was warming up in the bullpen decent bit ago. I don't think he didn't come in as an emergency relief a couple pitches ago, but that does feel early.
Under no stretch, I agree. Under no stretch does he seem like he's ready.
Right.
But nor have they called to the umpire asking for an injury replacement to allow for extra time to warm up here. So
it's a weird situation. I'm just throwing ideas out there. The heat is an interesting factor, right? Did that get to him a little bit early?
Well,
Was he feeling
remember
unwell
I made
before?
the point early in the broadcast about the fact that sometimes, a pitcher can just hit the wall hard suddenly when the heat affects you. sometimes it gets overwhelming, and we're managing the heat, but all we're doing is sitting here in the shade, and we're doing our best to manage the heat. So I have seen and heard from a couple of people who are normally here, just exchanging messages with them saying, you're not here, and being told, yeah, no, I'm not coming today, it's too hot. So
Well, here we go. Halden Craig. I want to get a nickname going. Great hair. Fabio's on the table, but my personal favorite is delayed starter. He throws starter appearances. He just does it in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. He's going to go deep into ball games. You see there, 16 and a third innings pitched, and he was not on the opening day ball club. So you talked about a lot of great guys in the league for the All-Star voting, didn't get to 10 innings. He's gotten there and then some, and he wasn't here in that first weekend. So Halden Craig, 2-1 record. He's been here in a lot of these big wins, including pitching against Chatham on Friday. He pitched in that big Welland win.
Yep.
Every time the Red Sox pick up a big late win at home, he's the man on the mound to cap it off, and there's good reason
as a rule,
for that.
yes, he is. I agree.
So he'll get warmed up. We're in the 7th, 2 outs already. I would say, Brian, if they hadn't done it yet, they're probably not going to sub Cass in for Savage as the back catcher. My guess would be. I don't think they're going to swap him out. Other than that, we alluded to it earlier. Are we going to see defensive replacements to the heat point? Are guys going to kind of wear themselves out? Are you better off having somebody a little more sharp, a little more fresh coming in? Nobody's swapped on defense on either side yet, so
Right.
maybe not a factor.
The only one that I'm thinking of is if Yokoyama, who, tough to say, but he's probably only got one more inning left in him. It's tough to go to your normal length on a day like this. So you've got Kazemka coming up next inning, a right-handed hitter. If they replace him out, now there's nobody throwing, it should be noted, there is no one throwing in the bullpen for Chatham at this point. But the only one that I'm thinking of right away is Ian Tone pinch hitting for Kazemka if they bring in a righty.
Well inside, well low, ball one there. Craig facing Yoshinoda, who's 1 for 3 today. RBI double, one of many to hit a double today back in the 3rd inning. Other than that, flew out, grounded out his day. One 0 runner on second. Big daddy hack there, missed that one. 1-1. One is the count. Swings and misses again. Oda. He's just missed with the barrel on a couple pitches outside. 1-2. Here's a guy with some velo, Halden Craig. Doesn't quite have the stuff, doesn't quite have the break of a guy like Portulato, but he doesn't need it with his placement.
Well, when you throw as hard as he does, all you need is good downward motion to your slider.
1-2 pitch. That one up and back, and I think for Oda, just to keep this one alive, give yourself any chance to try to time up what Craig's given you.
Yeah, and
valuable.
I'm not sure I go to the breaking pitch, to be honest with you. He's clearly having difficulty with the heat. So bring the gas low outside or up and in, and you should get a strikeout here.
Always a snowball's chance he can make contact on a hard-thrown pitch up, but you might take that chance if you're Craig. Here's the 1-2. Swings and misses, and well caught by Savage. My goodness. Really good couple innings for Brantford as a staff. They've pitched their way into a situation. They only got to hold Chatham off for 2 more innings. They gave up 13 runs in 9 innings on Friday. They've only given up 5 and 7 here tonight. The problem is the offense still has yet to find their footing. We'll see what they can do in a couple moments away against Yokoyama, who, like you say, probably in his final inning of work.
Well, the unfortunate situation here is, as I mentioned, you're 2-0 to Barrett, one of the best hitters in the league. You got an open base, and they decided to pitch to him, and it cost them a run.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, those are the little things that win baseball games. I would rather deal with Oda. I have all the respect in the world for Oda.
100%. Could be an all-star, but the profile of the hitter. Barrett's going to be productive more than likely.
Well, he has 2 hits today, and I haven't. You don't see guys doing to Leandro Mejia what Barrett did to Mejia today. he roped them both directions, and like I said, he's their best. There's a reason he's in the 3-hole. Oda's a great 4-hitter. He's got huge power. He's got about 7 home runs, but Barrett's the guy, right? And so at the end of the day, don't let their best players beat you. And now Barrett's got, 3 RBIs today. And that 4th run is huge. So now we finally got some action in the bullpen. I think there's a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Chatham.
So yeah, like you said, Yokoyama probably going to be in his final inning of work here today. I want to once again thank all of our listeners, all of our viewers, everybody tuning in here today. There's plenty you could choose to do with your Canada Day. We thank you for joining us here virtually for our coverage here of the game today. Brian and I, we love covering the team. We knew it was going to be hot. We knew it was going to be a swelter. I came from work here beforehand. He had some events going on today. There's no place we'd rather be, and we love being here with all you awesome viewers. Again, Chatham, your fans are always awesome. We love doing with you guys. I love who I've met in the past. Can't wait to meet some of you guys in person at the All-Star Game coming up in a couple of weeks. Again, voting has closed for that. The announcement should come sooner or later, probably any day this week. I'm sure it's been announced. Didn't get a chance to check it out quite yet, but we want to thank each and every one of you watching here today and our awesome volunteers. We thank Brandon, we thank Serena, we thank Sebastian, our awesome crew, and of course, thank you, Brian. It's a tough day. It's a swelter, smaller bridge crew here today in Brantford, but we love doing what we're doing. We hope you enjoy watching. That one struck. First pitch he sees. Kazemka puts that one out deep to left. Almost caught the foul pole. My goodness.
Oh, we got that one.
That was a well-hit ball. It just missed pay dirt. Time for waking the crowd up here a little bit.
After a bit of research, I have it on good authority that was actually Grayson Barrett's 100th career RBI in the league. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations indeed. Speaking of, Barrett running out to foul territory. Just misses. Almost caught it in the bullpen.
He almost snapped a couple of ribs going for that one, too, leaning over the 4-foot fence.
He had that fall earlier. He's going to be battered and bruised, and he still got 3 doubles on the day. How many doubles does he have in his career? That can't be too far behind, can it?
At least 3.
He racks them up. As it's still Kazemka. 2 well-hit baseballs. 1 hard-hit foul just missed the left field pole. The other one just missed the glove of Barrett. Here's the 0-2. That one put in play. Kazemka right to the third baseman. Throw from Graining, gets there in time. Barrett has been steadfast there on first, receiving. Graining's been awesome delivering, and don't forget that awesome play earlier. Up in the air, Barrett went up to get down and make the play at first. Feels like you can put a baseball just in the vicinity of Grayson Barrett. He'll find a way to bring it in.
Well, it's been a very well-played game overall defensively, hasn't it? You know, we had Gurney lose that ball in the sun, but otherwise it's been a pretty solidly played ball game.
Ball up high here to Cassidy Watt. Singled back in the second.
These are traditionally the kind of days where you get a little lackadaisical. You don't move your feet quite like you should because of the heat, and sometimes make mistakes because of that, but that hasn't been the case at all today. So kudos to both teams for a pretty well-played 7 innings thus far.
Cass looked pretty frustrated there on that one that was called a strike. Either way, it's 1-1. Drops in. That one's well wide. Ball 2. Yokoyama. This will be his 88th pitch. Not bad through 7 innings. That's how you get yourself into a deep start. Still a quality one as that one set off to third. Graining again. Another connection with Barrett. And another success. 33-34. What a combo that's been here today on defense.
Well, that was really well played. He was going to get in between Hop there, but he did a nice drop step, fielded it cleanly, stepped and threw a seed over to first base. Nice play by Barrett on a ball that wasn't quite 100% accurate, but really nice play to field the ball cleanly there.
So here's the big lefty, Walker Holgren, up for his 3rd time today. Got on an error and struck out in the 4th inning. That one misses high, misses wide, ball 1. Be the 90th pitch of the day for the starter for Chatham. The 1-0. This is high and wide there again. Starting to lose his control, specifically up high. Nobody's been able to barrel him up on it yet, though.
Well, they set the pitcher that was warming up back down, so I don't know if he was just getting loose or if he was waiting to see if Yokoyama would get into any trouble this inning. Obviously, thus far, it's been clean.
That one's too high, says the home plate umpire. Quick 3-0 count now for Holmgren.
I'm pretty sure you can count on one hand the number of hitters that have gone to 3 balls counts in this game on Yokoyama.
Can count on one finger the number of walks he's thrown. In for strike 1. Yeah, just 1 walk on the day. That's it. That's all Yokoyama's allowed.
That is so refreshing. You know, we've seen a lot of pitchers that have trouble throwing strikes, but
nice walk there by Holmgren. Too far in on the hands. He takes that one for ball 4.
well, even when the guys are walking, they're walking on borderline pitches. So there's some scuttling going on over at the bullpen now that the pitcher is back up. We're just trying to get a handle on who it is.
Well, you always wonder, right? With the heat, maybe you're going intermittent, right? Maybe you want to go in and out. Like you just alluded to it. That maybe they thought, okay, Yokoyama can get through the 7th. We'll wait. We'll go back in when we go on offense. That way your guy doesn't spend too much time in the beating sun before they come in, as Bateman sends that one straight down foul.
Well, an explosion going on in Kitchener today. 9 runs in the 5th inning for the Panthers.
Whew.
Suddenly it's 13-3, and that's
That is
cooling off a very hot ball team.
very Jack Couch Park Canada Day there. Yeah, just single innings. Unbelievable the runs they can get on as that one sent foul up and over the first base line. 0-2 is the count. You alluded to it there. Yeah, Kitchener needs that win like anybody out here needs water. They have been desperate to get back in a consistent run of form. Was huge to have that road win against Welland last week, but you really got to start putting together a more consistent, especially series of home wins. Inside, oh, Yokoyama called it out. He wanted the call from the home plate umpire there. Instead, it goes Bateman's way for 1-2.
I believe that's Thibaut Marcadier warming up in the bullpen for Chatham. I think we're on pitch, is it 94, 95 now? And so you have to think this is the last inning for Yokoyama.
1-2. Up high, dropped a little bit, not low enough. Good job by Bateman to at least get back to 2-2.
In fact, this may be his last hitter, considering the way Cantor roped him last time up.
Yeah, Cantor is the man on deck. A rare 0 for 3 to start the day here for him. He'd love another hack quickly. Wants to get that 0 off his ledger. Up too high. Really great takes here by Bateman high. At this point, it's an interesting dynamic. It's almost like Yokoyama's going to have to prove him he can hit the zone on 3-2. For Bateman, a guy that you'd think would like to put a ball in play in this situation.
And now Holmgren's running, and I'm not sure why Barrett's playing inside of him at first base.
There, Holmgren does go. That one is sent foul. A little bit of free cardio. Holmgren will have to head back to first base.
Just a bit of an odd thing there, where you've got a first baseman playing on the infield side of the base runner on 3-2 count when you know he's running.
Canada Day triple-digit start here for Yokoyama. Just hit his 100th pitch. Holmgren on first. Full count to Bateman. Misses wide. Great set of takes by Bateman. He went down to 0-2. He worked his way all the way back. That'll put 2 on for Jacob Cantor.
Yeah, here comes Dom Donnell. You'd have to think this is all for Yokoyama.
You can understand why. 1 walk in your first 23 batters, 2 in your last 2. But what a day here for Yokoyama.
Just kind of hit the wall there is all. What a fantastic game he has pitched.
But mature by Chatham. You know his time's over. You know he's been great. No sense playing around. You got a margin left. You know Brantford can pick up runs.
And guess
Take
what?
him out when you need to.
They're going to give him a go. They're going to let him throw this guy. Interesting.
All right.
He clearly he's told his manager, I'm good to go. I got one more for you, Skip.
This is a fulcrum moment. If
This is his
Cantor
game.
barrels this up.
Yeah. Having said that, like I said, there's been very few times where they have barreled him up, and maybe Dom went out there and just said, "Okay, I'll let you face this guy. This is your last guy, so don't leave anything in the tank. Empty the tank here, and get us one more out."
Well high and well wide again.
But he's missing. It's not that he's missing. He's missing up on a lot of these, and that is the surefire sign of a tired pitcher.
Hasn't been particularly close. 5 straight balls now. Cantor. It's going to eat him alive if he puts something right over the heart of the plate. Alan Strzok just barely hooked foul. Immediately, Graining pointed for it. I don't think the home crowd agreed. It was very close.
Well, it was definitely foul. I just didn't see an indication from the umpire. He didn't. I don't think he said anything. He just looked at it. And,
it was up for interpretation, which isn't what you want.
It was definitely foul. Make no mistake. But it was just a bit of a surprise that he didn't even, because with the third base umpire in the middle, with runners on, it's definitely the home plate umpire's call. It's a tough call for a home plate umpire because you got to get your butt around the catcher to get right in line to it, and he didn't really have time to do that.
1-1. Up high again. Now last pitch from Yokoyama in on the hands is the one fouled away. That's the first pitch that hasn't been high in the last 6. Hasn't quite had his spot here in this inning, and it's understandable when you consider he's nearing 110 pitches. Runner on first and second, 2-1 to Cantor. That one's dropped right at the shortstop. Nicely caught by Morrison. What a snag there by a pro-looking player on defense. Morrison shut that one down in a hurry, but if that ball gets passed, this ball game gets very interesting in a hurry. Well, awesome
kudos
start there.
to Yokoyama, who obviously he's done now, and a good job by Dom Donnell. He believed in his pitcher to give him one more good AB. Cantor did his part. He hit the ball hard a couple of times. First time just foul. Second time hit it right at the shortstop. And a bit of luck there, and he probably gets himself a base hit.
Well, it's time to start brainstorming. I'm not going to do it till the top of the ninth, as per usual. I had to do the Brian's Popeyes Player of the Game on Sunday, and I got to say, it's hard. I really do have sympathy for your...
Heavy lays the crown, my friend.
Exactly. It's the struggle of, you got to boil it down to one guy. How many baseball games do you ever watch where one guy is notable and the rest of the team flounders? It was tough. Who did I give it to? My director's sitting next to me. Who did I give it to on Sunday? I can't remember who I think it was... Yeah, it was Jacob. It was Jacob's second time of the year. I hate to be the. Actually, you had, I believe, done. Holden Craig might have won it for the second time. We're trying to remember. I am going to put a graphic together. I think for Saturday, I'm planning to have a list. I want to keep a leaderboard tally of all the player of the games through the season because I think it's an interesting way to look at baseball. Often we look always in the aggregate. Everything's a total. Everything's divided. Everything's an average. To look at game by game, who's the star? Who is the notable point? Tonight, this guy was the hero. He made the difference. You can get away with off nights in baseball is the reality. You can let your team carry you. But the number of nights you're the guy, I think, speaks heavily about your value to a team. If Cantor, for example, I know he didn't quite have the day today. He was looking for it 0 for 4. But guys that really rack up player of the game appearances like that, I think that says something beyond just your numbers.
I agree. And, like I said, it's a situation where you have to look at the full picture, offense, defense, and base running, and weigh them against each other versus the result of the game. Some guys do more than others. Some guys do things at the right time. Like for example, that big 3-run homer by Walker Hultgren against Welland a couple of weeks ago made it 6-0, effectively ended the game. But it was the work of others that got the game to that point.
Craig versus Gurney. Gurney pops that one up. Watch out, third base grandstand. Coming back down in the foul territory for 0-1. It's going to be Gurney, Constantino, and Kuchera, your next 3. Then Graining and Mackey, should they be needed in the 8 and 9 hole. And it's Holden Craig back on the mound. Only faced the one batter there back in the 7th inning. So he's relatively fresh here, despite the very hot day. That one misses high and wide for ball 1. Well, Friday against Chatham, this ball game wouldn't even be in the 5th inning yet.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Luckily today, the pace has been, knock on wood, a little bit better for both sides in the pitching department. This is wide. He's come inches away and every direction here in really his first 2 at-bats in general. He is so close to his spots. Just hasn't quite found it yet. Has Craig? Kearney here, 1 for 3 today, but it was an RBI double. That one struck up in the air. That one will be playable. Ranging way forwards, Black. Calling the field off as Cantor at second. Makes the catch, makes the grab, first out of the inning.
Oh, I tell you what, Holden Craig is so difficult to barrel up. You know, obviously there are guys in this league who can hit him, but he throws so hard and he mixes in that hard slider as well. So you just have to pick one of those pitches and sit on it and then hope he makes a mistake. He's been so solid for the Brantford Red Sox from the day he showed up. Had the one rough outing, which has kind of inflated his ERA, but other than that, it's been sunshine and roses mostly for Holden Craig.
That pitch will clip the outside here on Constantino. 1 for 2 here today. Another RBI from him. It was a single back in the 3rd, also walked in the 1st. That is his spot. That's the place he wants. He wants that far side. No dice, though. 1-1.
He's very good at dotting the I on the outside, but he also has the ability to come inside, and he can throw the strike-to-ball slider as well at an opportune time. And frankly, this would be one of those times, a good time to throw that slider.
1-1 misses high to make it 2-1. There is Constantino. That one misses low this time. Craig has lost his spot a little bit in this at-bat particularly, but doesn't tend to have too much trouble generally going on extended streaks away from the zone. Just really wanted that outside spot on a couple pitches early on this at-bat. Didn't find them. Now he finds himself in a tough spot down 3-1.
Right, just right at him here, you'd think, at this point of the ball game.
That one's low. I think it was his plan. I think he missed low. I think he might have just released that one a little too late. 5-pitch walk there to Constantino, his 2nd of the day. So Kuchera, the next man up. 0 for 3 here today. Only the 1 hit in the bottom 3 of the Chatham lineup in 9 attempts. It was Robert Mackey with a single back in the 4th. Other than that, 5 strikeouts, a walk, and 2 pop-outs combined is the order for the bottom 3 here. Give him the spot there on the bottom far side. Kuchera didn't like it. Wanted to confirm with the umpire. Strike 1. One is the count. 1 on base. It's Constantino on first. Here's the pitch. Oh, it struck right back at us. Thank goodness there's a fence.
Great location there.
Strike 2 to Kuchera. Big spot here for Holden Craig. Capped off his first inning of work here today with a strikeout swinging. He'd love another one here. Again, this ball game very much still in play for Brantford, but you don't have too much wiggle room that you'll feel comfortable with to give up more runs. 0-2. That one is struck very well by Kuchera. Out to left. Ranging forward as Kuzemko does make the catch. Does look like he's got a little bit of obstructed vision out there. The sun has come out behind the clouds. A little bit of indecision, but then Kuzemko makes the catch. So here's Andy Graining. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Did have that walk, though, back in the 2nd inning. 2 outs here as Holden Craig has just allowed the 1 base runner on a walk. Other than that, no hits since he came in the ball game.
Whew.
Up and high and inside. Luckily misses Andy Graining.
That'll wake you up in the morning and get that right in your kitchen.
Yes, indeed. If the heat was wearing him down, he's right back to earth. Scary moment there, luckily. Does miss. 1-0. That one up high. Shouldn't be playable. No, we'll track over into the first base parking lot. A little bit quieter day. There were some youth games going on. The Junior Red Sox, I believe, played today across the park, but those are all done. A rare empty parking lot here at Cockshot Park in Brantford.
Yeah, no games. Minor baseball doesn't normally play much on Canada Day. Been my experience anyways, especially on a Wednesday.
1-1. Swings and misses past that one.
But there was a game going on over in the diamond, the smaller diamond, that's for sure.
Yeah, big whiff there by Graining. First whiff that Craig has really induced here in this inning. But he's been effective limiting contact. 1-2. Could be one pitch away from getting out of the second to last
That's
inning.
the runner here. Nope.
Yes, he does. Swing and a miss there. Sits Graining down. Another strong inning of work, but we're getting used to that here in Brantford with Halden Craig. The Red Sox, 2 innings of offense for them, 1 left for the Barnstormers. So lest we need extra time. Well, should still be in for a great Canada Day worthy finish as these two teams donning the special edition uniforms get ready to take us to our final act. Well, here we go. We're going to have a, just want to double check. Believe it is going to be Mercadier coming out here. It is indeed Thibaut Mercadier going to be the man coming out here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Yuri Okayama's day officially over, as we assumed it would be. And what a hard-earned start he had here today. Again, up over 100 pitches, almost 110. Looks steadfast all the way through, and 64 strikes, 41 walks, the final ledger there for Okayama. 7 innings, 1 run. It was earned that he allowed 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, but Brian, most importantly, 3 hits in 7 innings, 110 pitches. That's going to be hard to recreate, but Mercadier, he's a highly thought-of pitcher in this league. I think he's going to be capable.
And I believe it is 2, 3, 4 coming up. Black, Holick, and Ortega. So you wonder, then Savage, and then batting 5th in this inning is Kuzemka, right-handed bat. I wonder if manager Terry Smith will go to the bench and bring in Nick Einentone.
He will have Savage in front, so that does Savage will hit 5. He has the potential to be a good guy to get on base. I think you're right. I think just with the power profile, Einentone can absolutely destroy the baseball if he gets a piece of it. I think if you get in that situation that you can go down at least 1 run. Like if you got 2 guys on, I agree.
Well, here's the thing: is that if you get to the 5th batter of the inning, it's an impactful at bat. And
yep. No, well put.
Einentone, as we know, can really mash right-handers and can fill in admirably in left field for Kuzemka. I think probably Kuzemka might be the better fielder, but Einentone is, he's a 300 hitter, so that would be what I would be thinking at this point. The other thing I was thinking, too, is that the Red Sox have tomorrow off, and then they
Very
play
true.
Friday in Kitchener, so I thought maybe we might see Jorge de la Cruz tonight to pitch the 9th inning to make sure that Craig was available for the weekend.
Could potentially be why they pulled Portulato so early.
Well, Portulato, I think.
Right back up the middle. Black rolls one to the center fielder. In with a single on the very first pitch the Red Sox see in the 8th inning.
I think Portulato hit the wall there. He's still walking around in the dugout. He's got a towel around his neck. I think he just overheated. I think he needed relief there.
So the man on the mound, the first pitch thrown by Thibaut Mercadier is a liner right up the center of the infield there by Brody Black. Here comes Tim Holick. The man on the mound now, Normandy, France's own, the 23-year-old Thibaut Mercadier, the Frenchman, 3-time pitcher for the French national team. Formerly of the Quebec Capitals of the Frontier League. As they try the back pick, sliding back in is Brody Black.
Yeah, I like the bluff. I don't see them actually trying to steal a base here. Down 4 runs with really the only guy who's been hitting well today at the plate.
I believe second on the team in swipes is Brody, but that's not many with this Red Sox team this year. That one up a little bit too high. Tells Black to stay. Yeah, Holick, Ortega, Savage. If you're the Red Sox, you could not design a next 3 batters up any better in this position. And again, we always talk about it. The further you can go in this inning, you want to see a guy like a Cantor, like a Black, again in the 9th if you can help it.
Nice pitch there, busted him in, got it in on his hands.
2-1 the count. Former Frontier League hitter, former Frontier League pitcher going at it here. The 23-year-old Frenchman. 2-1. Drops it in. Nice pitch by Mercadier. Off speed, a little bit of movement, catches the far side. 2-2. That one misses wide. Wild pitch. Runner will advance. Brody Black is off to second. He thought about turning the corner even for third, but he'll hold it there for the time being. It's going to be a full count back at home plate here for Holick. Very big pitch coming here, Brian.
True that. I was just thinking it, you know, Holick, as good as he has looked today, to get him on base with nobody out, doesn't bring the tying run to the plate just yet, but it certainly opens up. If you can get 1 or even 2 this inning, then to your point, you get the top of the order back up in the 9th.
That one is put foul. Very hard hit, but missed the field of play. Rolls off into the parking lot. Today for Holick. I believe they scored it as a single back in the first inning, so a single
yeah,
the
you
first.
have to count that a single because nobody actually touched the ball when it dropped.
It's a good point. Yep, so single, home run back in the 3rd inning, and then a pop-up to the shortstop in the 6th. So really strong 2-for-3 day here for Tim. Timmy Ballgame already with the only RBI for Brantford. He'd love to add another. Nice take. Just barely missed the zone. That is a heck of a decision. That's why he's a coach with game-ready training. Heck of a game sense there to get that at bat back to where he could feel comfortable. The one pitch that was close, the one pitch that was borderline, Brian, that he wasn't sure about, he swings that to put foul. Really nice at bat there.
Really good at bat to just work the count, knowing they need base runners, and that's a professional at bat by a professional hitter. And now Ortega, if he wants to rear back and try and spend the first half of this at bat trying to knock one out of here to make it a 1-run ball game, that would be probably what they would like on the Brantford bench.
That one drops in.
And that's just a fantastic pitch to start him off with, that get me over breaking ball. Obviously, he's sitting early in the count. He's sitting one spot, one pitch, dead red fastball most likely. Starts him off with that little lollipop, and that's just a great way to start him off.
That one misses wide. Nicely blocked by Oda.
Very nicely blocked there. Not an easy pitch to block. Fastball that just got spiked right into the dirt.
Really late hop there off the ground. Could easily have gone through the legs. Instead, he pinches it quite well. 1-1. Runner on first and second. What a Canada Day president could be here from Ortega or Savage to get Brantford back in this ball game late. That one misses wide. Really nice take. Ortega seems to, he wants Mercadier to prove he can hit the zone because I don't think he saw enough of that with Holick. I think Holick swung at a couple that just missed wide.
Well, both pitcher and catcher looked like they wanted that pitch. Interesting that Morrison's playing a little bit up the middle here. It's a good-sized hole on the left side.
He gets that one. Frustration from Ortega. He thinks that one was low.
Well, as I've mentioned before, the one thing that you find as a home plate umpire in a close game late is that you're going to hear about it on all borderline pitches. You heard about it from the Chatham side on the pitch before, and then he heard about it from Ortega on that one there.
Big 2-2 pitch here. That one chopped. Nice job to keep it alive for Ortega. So Mercadier's got a spot. He is going to go back to that wide side about belt level over and over until Ortega proves he can catch up to it.
Mercadier throws hard, and so you have to respect that. So that's why that he's got a slower curveball that'll really tie you up in knots here if you're sitting fastball.
Gets a piece of that one again and keeps it going, does Chris Ortega. Now going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Very nicely done there. Nice job to foul that off. Really curious to see who's going to come out of the dugout after Savage is the on-deck hitter, and then you've got that 6th spot with Kuzemka with Ian and Tone available off the bench.
Swings and misses. That's a really big pitch there for Mercadier. His first K of the day. He gets it in a big spot against a big-time hitter.
That was a heck of a finishing pitch there. That's that off-speed breaking ball. Ortega geared up to stay up with that fastball, and it just dropped on him and fell out of sight. And is it? That is Ian and Tone on deck out on in the on-deck circle, is it not?
That one struck. Should be in play out to right. Coming down. They're going to say it's fair. Bounces over.
Foul ball.
There is an argument. They're going to say foul. You heard the excitement. Terry Smith, the owner, out of his mind. Everybody wearing white and red thought that one was in play. Bounce for a ground rule double. And the discussion begins. Greg Rapp out to chat with the home plate umpire. That is not a happy crowd in the home dugout.
Well,
It always feels like there's tension here late.
It's
Every
very
game.
upset. The thing was that that ball carried over the fence. Now he's taken, the first base umpire is taking some abuse from the hometown crowd, but I will give him this. He made it out there probably 20 feet out of the dirt cutout onto the grass. So it's not like he didn't make any effort to get out there. He was at home on the baseline, and then he dropped back about 20 feet and got a pretty good look at it. But Brantford's assertion is that the ball was fair when it left the yard. It definitely landed foul. But the discussion here is not that it landed foul, but that it left the field still in fair territory. Picture, the thing that's disappointing out there is like there's not, it's just a maybe 15-foot foul pole, which is not much help at all.
And there's an extended chat, the home plate umpire.
The home plate umpire has had quite enough from abuse from the bench and has told them, we can hear it all the way up here, I'm just going to start picking guys to throw out. So enough of the abuse.
Right, like what do? You eject the whole bench at this point?
Well,
the
at
whole
that
Red
point,
Sox
I've
team.
been there, but you just start ejecting guys until people stop chirping. It's not a pretty sight, but it is effective.
You may have forgotten, still Savage, 0-1. Runner goes there from second all the way in. What a slide. Brody Black, heck of a swipe of third. Almost out of frustration. You got to feel runners now on the corners in Brantford.
He's been timing up Mercadier the whole at bat, and you just kind of had the feeling that with that walking lead, he was going to go if Mercadier went home while he was walking, and that was the case there. Couple pitches ago, he was walking, and Mercadier held onto the ball, and he jumped back.
Oh, here we go.
And now
Savage has been
thrown out.
ejected.
As soon as that third strike was called, he yelled something that we cannot repeat on air.
And the umps are getting right in his face, trying to get him out of here. Wraps out as well. This is breaking down here in Brantford after strike 3.
Well, like I said, that's the disappointing thing is that Brantford's bench is, now they are in line, but 120 feet further away. The one who was out in a pretty good spot was Savage, who was well up the line by the time that ball went out. And that is the argument. And I'm not going to stand here one way or the other, like I know, but that is their assertion. Those who were on the line, the first base coach and Savage, were insisting that the ball went out before it went foul. And so the only thing that I would say to Brantford City is a 15-foot foul pole doesn't really cut it out there. You need something a little bigger. Because obviously if it wraps around the foul pole, it's a fair ball.
Well, you alluded to it. Here is Nick Iannantone into sub for Christian Kazemka. Unfortunately, 2 outs in front of him. Still runners on the corners. Big shot for one swing of the bat to make an impact, but it can't be to tie the ball game, even in the best case scenario. Oh, this is wide on the breaking ball.
Well, I'm just trying to piece together what their defense looks like now, because obviously Cassidy Watt has to leave first base and put the pads on and catch the 9th inning. That might mean Ortega over to first and then Kuzemka come in and play third.
That one struck foul.
Cartier throws hard, but I mean, Iannantone's played D1.
One the count. Mercadier. Nice breaking ball, but it drops way too far, although heck of a break on that one. That's a swing and miss pitch every day of the week, except a guy like Iannantone. Good discipline. He saw everything back there in college. Two one. That one chopped straight down. It's going to say it went off of the leg. It's going to go
fouled
foul.
off the front leg there.
So 2-2. Mercadier struck out the last 2 batters he's faced. Iannantone, the pinch hitter with 2 men on.
Tell you what, aside from all of the drama, Mercadier's really
Really good inning.
He really bear down quite well here. We had first and second and nobody out. And now he's got 2 out and no runs have been given up yet. So Brantford really needs Iannantone to clutch up off the bench here. Oh, that was a really nice piece. I couldn't believe he got a piece of that pitch.
Nice job there, Iannantone, keeping it alive here. Righty facing lefty batter. 2 outs in the inning. Any one pitch could decide it, and if you're Brantford, you desperately need productivity right here.
Just at least get a base hit to get the 1 in.
That one struck. Is out to right. Tracking back to the fence. It is gone! I said one swing of the bat could make an impact. That's what I'm talking about. Nick Iannantone into pinch hit. That's why you put 32 at the plate. Big candidate A swing to right field, and the Red Sox now trail by just the 1 run on the 3-run shot from Iannantone.
Wow, I tell you what, he hung one there, and I keep telling you, Iannantone can hit anything coming from a right-hander. He absolutely mashes right-handed pitching. And I think Dom Donnell is going to make a change here. He's going to bring in another pitcher.
Mercadier looked unflappable right till then.
Talk about clutching up.
That's a huge homer. Jordan, the chat's right on. That is one that just certain moments, not just for a ball game, not just for an inning, but for a season, right? If you're Brantford, this is a big contest against a team you're tied with coming into today. This can matter. This head-to-head could matter into the season. This is a ball game both teams desperately want, and I agree with what you're saying. If you're the coach, there is no sitting back. There's no letting the game play out. If you think you got a better matchup in the bullpen against who's coming up, you put him in right away.
And how impactful is that call now on the Savage hit?
Right.
That's a tie ball game if that's a fair ball.
So Bo Buckley in the ball game now. Number 99 is in to substitute in. Mercadier again, great inning. Looked a little bit lost on his placement there early. Did have the hit, then the walk he gave up there to Black and Holick respectively. But after that, the 2 nice strikeouts and high counts to Ortega and Savage. And then, of course, gets barreled up a moment ago by Iannantone. What a swing of the bat. There's the numbers for Bo Buckley. Talk about a guy who might be playing a home All-Star game. 10 in a third innings pitch, 1.71 ERA. Some support there coming in from the Chatham fans for Thibaut Mercadier, who leaves the game. Well, it's all to play for now here, Brian. At the very best case scenario for Chatham, you come out of this inning just up 1. It'll be all to play for in the 9th. But if you're the Red Sox, why play the bottom of the 9th? Just score your runs now and finish her off in the top 9.
Well, yep. And I tell you what, if you thought Ian Antone had some power, here comes Cassidy Watt, who I guess is going to be the new catcher in the 9th inning. And here's another guy who could certainly knock one out of here today. The ball is really carrying out to right field, isn't it?
Very much so. Not quite what Cass wants to see. He is more of a prototypical pull righty.
Truth.
That one up a little bit too high. The Brantford dugout, no surprise after all that controversy with the umpire. They are loud on every pitch, as they often are in the late stages here at home. They give it to him wide. Buckley puts that one way wide, gets a strike for his troubles.
That one must have caught the front corner of the plate there, because it sure ended up outside.
1-1, 2 outs. Here's Watt. That one put up in the air. Will it come down? Yes, it will. Falls into shallow center. Watt keeps the run alive. Man on first. One swing of the bat from Holmgren could put the Red Sox ahead now. What a ball game we're getting here late on Canada Day. We thank you for joining us, whether you're here and watching from Chatham, watching from Brantford, anywhere in between. Do not go away. This is what you live to see on a special holiday baseball. That one put in play. Right to the shortstop, but a high bounce. What a play by Morrison. That one took a sharp hop up off the dirt. Keep an eye on Cass. Some discomfort as he gets up there on second. Slid in hard, is okay. Morrison, though, in that play there, Brian, what a grab out of the air. Took a hard hop off the edge of the grass. Morrison is he is pro-level defense in its purest form. My goodness, what a day for number 44. With that, we're going to turn over. We're going to take a quick commercial break because we've got to decide Brian's Popeyes player of the game. And as it always seems to be, we got to decide right before the pivotal 9th inning. Don't go anywhere, fans. Whether you're watching from, again, Brantford, Chatham, you're just a fan of Canadian baseball, or you want something to do in your Canada Day, either way, get ready for a barn burner of a 9th inning. We'll be right back on Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube Baseball, presented by Mr. Lubin Tires.
Zemka can't go to.
Well, we told you not to go anywhere, and it's for good reason. Welcome back to Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube Baseball live on Canada Day here at Arnold Anderson Stadium. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers still lead the Brantford Red Sox 5-4, but it's a ball game that's got plenty more interesting in the past couple minutes. Nick Iannantone with a massive 3-run shot to right field brings Brantford back to within 1 run here on a special holiday edition of baseball. Halden Craig back on the mound. First pitch just low of the zone on a new face here for Chatham. The substitutions begin all throughout both lineups. That pitch low, and this is Iannantone. Remember how good he was on Friday from the 9-hole. He was probably the player of the game in the 9 spot, the backup catcher for this team.
Yeah, they couldn't get him out last Friday. 2 walks and 2 hits.
Craig facing Ansari, 2-0. Gets the bottom that time, 2-1. So the next 3 up here for Brantford when we come back around. I believe it is going to be Bateman, Cantor, Black as that one fouled away. We'll see Bateman, potential maybe to get pinch hit for, but
I think that's Carosis out at third now.
we're trying to tell. We don't get our substitutions announced. It's either Carosis or it's Lefebvre. That one put up and over our heads, foul. Good job keeping it alive for Ansari. Started out 2-0, but now Craig 1 pitch away from being 2 outs away.
Right, so here's your defensive changes. You got Cassidy Watt behind the plate now. Christian Ortega's moved from third base over to first base. A.J. Carosis comes in for Savage at third base. And Iannantone, who pinch hit for Kazemka, comes in left field.
That one chopped right to the third baseman. Gloves it well on the 1-hop. Gets it there to Ortega. Textbook defense to open it up. And you're right, it is Carosis making the nice throw in lieu
and
of
in
his
typical
substitution.
baseball fashion, the guy who first comes onto the field gets the first ball hit to him.
So it is also Iannantone in left after coming in for Christian Kazemka. And Bateman remains in at short for the time being. Cantor still at second. Of course, he's likely going to hit here in the next inning. First pitch to Monks right down Main Street. 0 for 4 today, Julian Monks. 2 groundouts, a line out, and a fly out. Hasn't quite had the day he'd be hoping for as a leadoff hitter with good numbers. He's got Morrison behind here, though, so would love to get on base. That one put back in play, just misses the glove of the pitcher, doesn't miss the glove of Cantor. Not quite in time. The ball rolls away, but wouldn't have quite got there anyway. A tough play, and Cantor in some, he is in some discomfort getting up. Got to stretch out that left leg. Hopefully just a brief little moment to get comfortable. Looks like he will be okay, but a scary play there as that one was inches out of the glove of Halden Craig.
That was a good effort there going up the middle. Sliding stop by Cantor. He just didn't get it cleanly. If he gets it cleanly, he might get the out at first, but he bobbled it a little bit, the double pump. And here comes Evan Morrison, who has been a real thorn in the side of the Red Sox this afternoon, as he usually is for his opposition.
First pitch catches the bottom corner on Evan Morrison. 2 doubles on the day for him. Somehow not the best on the team. Grayson Barrett's got him beat with 3, but Morrison has been awesome, and he's always a threat on the base paths. 0-1, 1 out. Craig facing 44. Joe's bunt misses with the bunt, but the ball rolls away.
Oh, check that. Sure he did.
I think he did, says the home plate umpire. Did go around. Did he get overruled there by?
No, somebody else just got kicked out.
Looks like it's Dela Cruz getting thrown out.
Well, the dugout's been all over the umpires ever since the Savage hit.
Yeah, the chat continues. There is Greg Rapp's going to come back out because this is just.
Well, at some point, if you're the manager, you have to come out and maybe take one for the team here. And I'm not. It's one of those unwritten rules of management. Since every once in a while, you got to come out and stomp your feet a little bit, and get your team fired up.
It's a weird way to put it, but chaos doesn't benefit the Red Sox at all. There are games where if this gets emotional, it's a weird tempo. It's back and forth. That's fine if you're winning, but if you're the Red Sox, you got to stay dialed in. You got to stay ready. You still got to find a run when you go back on offense. If I'm the Red Sox, let the tension play itself out. If you pick up the ball game, you can do the chat in post game.
Well, it was a tough spot for the umpire in the middle of the field to call whether he went for the bunt or not.
That one set foul. So this
From
next
where
pitch
I'm
could be big.
standing, I thought it was pretty apparent, but at the end of the day, there was a runner going. He had that to deal with, and I think it was designed a fake bunt steal. So he's got a call to make at second base, and whether or not the batters went for it is a difficult thing to add to your responsibility when you're already anticipating a play at your base.
The 1-2 from Craig. A little too high. Doesn't get the call there against Morrison. 2-2 now the count.
So you got an interesting situation here where you have a top flight elite hitter up and another one up on deck. You have an open base and one out, which would really say, let's go for the double play, but not too many guys are going to walk somebody to face Grayson Barrett.
2-2 here. Inside on the hands. Morrison still gets it up in the air. Out to short. Bateman makes the catch. One out away is Holden Craig from another exceptional inning in relief where he doesn't allow anything to the opposing offense.
And now you walk Barrett. There's no way you face Barrett here.
I
He's
couldn't
already
agree
burned
more.
you once. Give him 4. Get him on base. Go after Oda.
You see they're asking. There you go. Free pass administered. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. No reason to pitch to Barrett.
We already went through this once, and they decided to face him, and he burned him with an RBI single. You can't let their best players beat you. And again, this is no disrespect to Oda at all. He's a very respectable player in this league. You think he has like 7 home runs already, but you just can't let Barrett beat you in this situation.
It's unbelievable. It speaks to just how good the talent here in the CBL is that Yoshinoda's the guy getting brought up instead.
That's a great point.
All right, think about how unbelievable he's been this year. He's
That's
the guy you'd rather face. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's as a rule you don't want to walk a guy to face Oda either, but when the other guy is Barrett.
When 0-4 Barry Bonds has Ted Williams behind him, eventually you got to pitch to somebody.
You got to throw to somebody.
0-1. Runners on first and second after the intentional walk. A little bit too high. That'll be ball 1 here for Oda.
But I believe he struck Oda out last time, didn't he?
Yep. Strikeout swinging back in the 7th.
And
Ground
that
out a flyout.
fastball was all that Oda could handle. It might have been the first batter he faced. Am I right in that?
One. Wow, they're going to say he missed high that time. The
Good take there.
very good take. 2-1. Holden Craig, to his credit, looks unflappable. He doesn't look emotional, not letting any of this get to his head. 2-1. That one struck. Might be playable. Gonna go foul out over the first base line.
Well, he got a good swing at that one.
Well, there's tension everywhere. There's tension on the field. There's tension in the dugouts. There's tension in the YouTube chat. Everybody's fired up. Everybody's ready for some Canada Day baseball, and they're ready for their team to be on the winning side of it. Holden Craig could be one pitch away from the end of the half inning. Here's Oda. That one struck out to center. Ranging forward is Holgren. Lets it hop to him, which is going to bring the run home. Couldn't quite get there in time.
Oh, no.
Oh, the throw high and past the runner, and the runner is caught there. by Carosis. Some discomfort there for Grayson Barrett.
Carosis came right down on Barrett.
He jumped in the air as Carosis was running to him. Carosis goes over to apologize. Contact, heavy contact made there in that moment. Barrett was on his feet. Wasn't a proper slide in, so he was up pretty high. Carosis goes to jump to grab the ball. Barrett just runs right into him as Carosis goes up, so I want to correct ourselves. Barrett's now on third. Jorge De La Cruz has not been ejected from this game. He is still out. He's actually walking towards the bullpen. Maybe just a potential emergency.
I don't know who was kicked out.
Push in case of emergency button, potentially if we go to extras. But either way, Austin Gurney's now up. The lead now 6-4. Huge run there for Chatham. Oh, and misses high for ball one.
Frankly, I don't pitch to Gurney either. I put him on.
Constantino's been great. Very disciplined today. 2 walks and an RBI single. He's up behind. For now, it's Gurney. They're going to say he did go around. Evens it up at 1 apiece.
So just to review, a really nice piece of hitting by Oda, who hit a pretty good pitcher's pitch and just got a soft liner out to center field there. And of course, you have to play deep with Oda because he has huge, huge power. And managed to drop a ball in front of Hulkran.
Right down Main Street for strike 2. Gurney finds himself in a scary spot. 1-2 against a pitcher like Craig. You often don't find your way out of that hole.
Well, I think Gurney was expecting another slider there after he got fooled on the last one. Craig comes back with the fastball at the bottom of the zone, very well located. So he's set up for a couple of pitches here. Nice play by Watt.
In the dirt for ball 2. Nicely caught there by number 15.
Going back to that slider, hoping to get him to chase again. But it was not really a competitive pitch, so.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning. 2-run lead. Craig will deal. That one is struck. Out to right. Catchable by either Cantor or Black. Black goes in, slides, and the ball drops in. He can't make the clean catch. And that's another one for Chatham as Black is down in some discomfort. Heartbreak there for Brantford.
Oh, just a terrible break for the Red Sox. That's how many balls now that have dropped in just in the right spots on Brantford's defense.
So that will score Oda. And that will score Barrett. This is now an 8-4 ball game. And the first mound visit here with Halden Craig. I do see Jorge De La Cruz. He is warming up in the bullpen, but you got to think they just want Halden to come in, finish off this inning. If you get him back on offense and you tie the ball game or win it, that's great. If you tie it up, you got Jorge there just in case, but.
Well, some days you're just not, you just don't have success, and not necessarily because you didn't do what you wanted to do. He had 2 out. He got soft contact on Oda, and it dropped in front of an outfielder. Then he got soft contact on Gurney, and it dropped in front of an outfielder. So that's baseball in a nutshell. And kudos to both those hitters for putting the ball in play on a tough pitcher. Got the job done, and the 3 runs that Einan Tone generated with his home run have now been negated with 3 runs here in the top of the 9th.
Once again, that pitch missed somewhere. Constantino looking at 1-0. Missed wide again by a hair. 2-0. Two outs. The only man on base is Gurney. He's on second. Alan Struck is in play. Should be the final out. Caught there by the first baseman, Ortega. He'll run it out to cap off the half inning. Well, Brantford gets out, but not without some damage. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers open up their lead by 3 more. They now lead at 8-4. The Brantford offense has to find 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. 5 if they want to win it in regulation. Well, it's time. Brian's Popeye's player of the game. We'll see if it's an offensive player, they get one more chance. If it's a pitcher, their day might already be done. Brian, who are we feeling for today's Popeye's player of the game?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be Halden Craig. Unfortunately, he got touched up for a couple of runs there. But up until that point, he was absolutely untouchable. And again, some bad luck. He gave up 3 runs, but some bad luck there. You get soft contact. Sometimes the ball drops in. A catch here or there, and he gets out unscathed, and it's 5-4. But Halden Craig, who has done so much good for so many innings over the last month or so, it's about time that we gave him his due and proper.
Couldn't agree more. To correct there, he's pitched 2 and a third inning. It was another lengthy start there for the reliever. And now we get set to go. It's going to be Bo Buckley back on the mound, trying to cap this one off for the Chatham Barnstormers, or should I say the Lumberjacks, wearing those nice Canadian plaid themed jerseys here. Like I said, not unique necessarily to Canada Day specifically, but they're perfect to fit the theme. And here we go. This is where, Brian, you got to make your name. This is where, as a hitter, your signature moment for the team, for the home games, and of course for a holiday. You can really have a moment associated with your name in a way you can't without a big late-game clutch hit. Talk about a guy, Lucas Bateman. He's been getting back on the horse. He's been getting back in rhythm. He's going to be the first guy up at the bottom of the 9th. What would a big inning mean for him?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, like I said earlier, he has taken just a nightmare start offensively and turned it around. And he had another couple of good at-bats tonight. And, that's the other side of having that big inning for the Red Sox, that you get it down to 9-hole. And if Bateman can't get on, you've got a runner on and the top of the order coming back up.
So first pitch from Bo Buckley is well up high for ball 1. In for strike 1 there, evens it up. Buckley an ERA well under 2. Swings and misses past that one, does Bateman. Wyoming's own Bo Buckley, former champion of the league, 2nd year in the CBL, also pitched with London back in 21. It's going to be the man Chatham puts on to try to cap off a Canada Day win. Alan Struck should be in play, past the second baseman. That's how you get the bottom of the 9th started. Lucas Bateman on for his 2nd time today.
Well, what a nice piece of hitting that was. He had a ball that just tied him right up inside, and he managed to muscle it out into center field past the second baseman, Monks. And so that's what we were talking about just a moment ago, where you get the 9 guy up to start. He gets on base, and now you got the top of the order up, and we'll see if they can make any noise. The one thing that we know about these Red Sox, they sure aren't going to quit. There's a lot of fight in this team.
That one misses up high. Nice take to open it up for Jacob Cantor.
Cantor is the kind of guy who will really work a count, is very good at getting deep into counts and drawing walks.
That one misses wide this time. Cantor gets up 2-0. Buckley didn't have really a notable command problem in the 8th inning. Hasn't been too long here in this one, but he's missed a couple pitches I think he would have wished were more competitive in the zone. That one struck. Struck foul, though, past the third baseman.
Well, that was surprising, the fact that you down 4 knee base runners, you're up 2-0. But Jacob saw a pitch he liked, and he hacked at it.
Point made in the chat is very correct. No lead is ever safe. I'll give him that one wide. I think that was a good frame job there by Ansari. And Sorry, brought it back, and he gets a strike call for his efforts. 2-2. The pitch, that one up in the air. Cantor puts it into shallow center. Can the fielder get there? Gurney slides in. The ball comes down. The runners will advance. Finally, Brantford gets one to go their way in the outfield, and this time it's a ball just out of the glove of the outfielder. This time going the way of Brantford.
Well, I tell you what, turnabout's fair play, isn't it? That's exactly the kind of ball that dropped in front of Hulkren on the Oda hit and dropped in front of Black on the Gurney hit. So, you know, it goes both ways.
Well, here we go. Brody Black, Tim Holt, Chris Ortega. They smell blood with 2 on, no out. Wow. Strike one, 0-1. That one is in on the hand, set foul for 0-2.
Well, this is all you can ask for. Down 4 in the 9th is to get the meteor order up with a couple of runners on. And one more guy gets on base, and they'll bring the tying run to the plate, which could be either Holik or Ortega.
0-2. That one is put in play, past the infield. One run will come off 3. He's coming around to home. The throw in might be in time. Not quite. Play at the plate. He's safe, says the home plate umpire. Ball comes out. Run comes home. What did I say? Talk about needing a productive day and a big moment. Lucas Bateman comes around to score on the single from Brody Black. That's 3 singles in a row. Brantford cuts the lead to 3.
Well, I am absolutely floored that they sent him there. Nobody out, down
gutsy.
4. That was a pretty, I can't use that word. It was a pretty brave send.
Well played throw. The right fielder had a perfect throw. Barrett, the perfect, middleman, gets the perfect throw on the money. He leads it a little bit into the, to the catcher down the third base side, and he still gets in there in time because the ball pops out. I think if the ball stays in the glove, he was checking. I think he was out pretty safely, but
that would have woke him up in the middle of the night if they'd have had him thrown out at the plate, especially if a guy like Holik comes up and hits a home run right here.
Yeah, great point. Well, it'll take a big swing similar to the one we saw from Ian Antone, but one swing could tie this ball game on Canada Day, and the guy you want to see up behind Tim Holik is Chris Ortega. This is what we said, Brian, that 8th inning. Every at-bat was valuable because it led to this moment. You get, like you said, the meteor lineup gets to come up in this spot. 5th time of the day we've seen Tim Holik. 2 for 4. Now one struck. Out over the center fielder's head. Will Cantor tag up. Holik spikes the bat into the dirt. He's frustrated.
Infield fly.
Pardon me, it is going to be the infield fly there. Caught by the shortstop, Evan Morrison. Well, not the swing of the bat Tim Holik was looking for. I know he's going to be frustrated, but now he's got Chris Ortega behind him to try to clean up the mess, and behind him is going to be A.J. Carosis. Talk about Carosis going to be in a big spot if he can come up.
There's the case of, talk about a huge play that is coming back to bite you. Andrew Savage gets himself kicked out of the game after his at-bat, and he would have been on deck right here, and how important would that have been? And we like A.J. Carosis, but Andrew Savage is 2nd in the league in hitting, and if he gets up here, he's the potential tying run or even possibly the winning run. And now he's out of the game because of the big chirp and after he struck out.
1-0 is the count. That one is put up in the air. Might be playable on the first base line. Is going to go foul. Thank goodness if you're Chris Ortega. Remember, men on, 1st and 2nd. Brantford down 3. One swing of the bat could tie the ball game.
It's the player of the week up here against a tough pitcher. This is professional baseball in Canada right here. You've got a pitcher with less than 2 ERA against the player of the week.
Thought he got a piece of it. That one going to go foul as well. Barrett thought he could get there in time. He can't. 1-2 on a pair of foul balls over the first base fencing. Chris, I think, has come milliseconds off, timing both of those up. I think he wanted that second one especially. What does Buckley give a guy who's swinging hard? here on 1-2. The pitch. That one is sent right past to the third baseman. It will get by. The runner going to hold up at third. He would have had a good chance to get in home, especially with the throwback in missing. But I think if you're Brantford,
that
you
run
keep it alive.
means nothing, though. I mean, at the end of the day. Now, here's some more interesting fodder. Like I say, Savage is out. Carosis is up. If Carosis can get on base, or in the end just not into a double play, you've got Nick Einentone up.
That's a good point. Just hit the 3-run bomb.
Who just hit a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. Who would come up with the would be the winning run.
Talk about a guy who needs a hit. Carosis, 0.71 is average on the new season. That one struck. Is out to right. No way. The ball back right on the fence. It is so close to a homer, but instead it'll just score one on the sacrifice. Carosis, he missed the game-winning grand slam by maybe 5 feet.
By maybe 5 or 6 feet.
My goodness.
That would have been the moment of the season for the Red Sox, to have a guy come off the bench with hitting bingo numbers to hit a walk-off grand slam in the 9th inning.
AJ gets one home, but he passes the buck forward. One swing for Einentone. Can you imagine if he hits another? Either way.
Well, the thing that maybe that we're overlooking here, and Ortega, that is Black on first. Who's on? It's Ortega on first. Not the best runner. Is there nobody quicker in the dugout that could pinch run for Ortega? And I realize that leaves him dry. If he scores a tying run and they go to extras, you could potentially use Holik as the DH, bring him into the game and have him play first. But I'm surprised they don't go to a pinch runner for Ortega.
That one catches the far side on Einentone. 2-1 count. We just heard thunder here at Arnold Anderson. You see a cloud building
I don't know where
out in right field. We're going to have a thunderstorm right after this ball
coming
game.
in on right field here. Holy mackerel.
What
here,
a ball
my
game.
point is that if a ball goes to the wall here, can Ortega score from first?
That one struck. Past the infield. One run will come around. Ortega's going to go to third. The throw in. Not in time. Men on the corners. Einentone keeps the comeback alive. And the Red Sox have Cassidy Watt up to bat. The game on his bat.
And they're going to bring in Day here, I think.
You have to. They've got to Buckley. They finally caught up to 99. Really good 8th inning. The 9th hasn't gone his way.
What happens if it starts to rain?
That's
that's
why you
really
do it. Swap them
folks.
out. A cold spell. You can feel the wind getting cold. You can feel the weather is getting imminent. You try to kill time if you're Chatham. You lost one of the great ball games of the entire year by a run on Friday. You want to win it going back the other way here today by a run. And the weather, folks, you can see it out in right field. It's even worse up above us. The clouds have gathered. It is going to pour rain in a few moments. This is cinema here at Arnold Anderson.
As I said Friday night, are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? We're on a clock now. The Red Sox don't just have to win this game. They have to win it before the sky opens up. They're down to the last out. Cassidy Watt, is there... it's not a full... it's not a packed house, but it's a packed house in terms of character, in terms of passion. The left field line, a bunch of people have gathered to watch the game in the comfort of their backyards and the comfort near the beer pagoda. This one, in terms of memory to the team, is going to be up there with one of the great Red Sox walk-offs ever. If Cass can get it done, just the sky, I cannot believe it compared to what we've seen all day. It has been crystal clear, crisp sky. Now
we
it
weren't
is
supposed to see any of this. I even looked at the weather today. We weren't supposed to see any significant rain until Friday.
Garrett Day will take the mound. Here we go. Cassidy Watt, he tells me every time I talk to him, I try to let it slide right off my back. You know, I try to be a cool, calm, collected guy. You take the results as they lie. How can you not have all the pressure in the world on you right now here, Brian?
Tying run 90 feet from the plate. Brings in the wild pitch as well.
First pitch, you can tell the result he's swinging for.
Well, and if you know Cassidy Watt at all, he's the type of guy who wants to do anything possible for his ball club. And so this is a nervous Nelly situation at the best of times, but you can just tell he's the kind of guy that really wins it for the guys. But right before you win it, you just got to get yourself on base and bring this run in.
Lets it go by. Great take wide. 1-1. The man behind, Walker Holmgren, also not a bad option to have up in this spot if Cass is able to walk off day. You hear from the dugout, nobody better than the man at the plate. 1-1. Drops low. Another great take from the catcher.
Well, this is the part where you need to be very patient. He's not a fireballer here. You can afford to take a borderline pitch that you know you can't do anything with, a second strike.
They're going to give it to him on the
that's
inside.
A nice pitch. That's a nice pitch there. Good curveball.
Two the count. One pitch could decide it. The Canada Day ball game. That one chopped up in the air. Very high bouncer. Gets down. Watt likes it out. This ball game is tied.
He's going to call for interference there. Dom Donnell's going to come out and ask about interference. I wondered the same thing. Ian and Tone went right at the second baseman.
Yes, he did. It was very close.
But he didn't make any contact with him. And
he didn't, and I don't think that determined first. I think Cass had that, whether that ball gets in normal or not.
But it doesn't matter,
but
though.
It doesn't matter.
If interference if it's determined to be interference, he's out regardless of whether he would have made it or not. I agree with you. I feel like he didn't have to do anything there, and Cass would have run that out.
But this is the CBL. No replay review. It's like earlier on that foul ball they thought was stayed in and then bounced over. What do? You made the initial call. You only got so much wiggle room that you can say, hey, we're going to end the results of the game based on a judgment call we didn't make in the moment. It's a hard sell to get anything else.
And I would agree with you. I also agree that I don't believe it's interference because he didn't make contact with him, but it is absolutely his duty as manager to come out and have a discussion with the umpire in the infield.
So Walker Holmgren's up. The biggest deal about that moment as the Red Sox tie it on Cass liking out a single. This game can't be a Chatham win due to weather. Well, the Red Sox have at least earned themselves a tie.
Well, the thing is here,
here's Holmgren. Misses wide. Day has not quite had his spot since he's come in the ball game.
It calls to mind the Ortega Baltimore chop over the third baseman to walk off that hit, and then you got Cassidy Watt hitting one off the plate for a Baltimore chop to hit the tying run in.
That one struck past the infield. Runner's gonna go. He's coming around. The throw home. Oh, Canada, baby! The Red Sox win it in the bottom of the ninth. That's the Canadian Baseball League in 2026. The Red Sox got him again by a run. What a Canada Day ball game. The clouds are going to open up, but the Red Sox faithful do not care. 9-8 Brantford is your final. Can you believe it? I'm lost for words, Brian. I don't know what to say.
Well, I tell you what, a mistake by Day, too much of the plate, nice piece of hitting by Holmgren to knock it through the infield. That you've got the Brantford side that are still upset about the Andrew Savage hit. Now you've got the Chatham side who are upset about potential interference at second base a play ago. Drama. The top of the order does the job. All kinds of heroes all around the ballpark for both sides. What a ball game this has been.
Holy cow, what a game.
This has been the best ball game that we have, and not just because the home team walks it off. It was 5-1. It was 5-1 in the eighth inning, going into the bottom of the eighth, and ends up 9-8. What a crazy game. What an absolutely crazy finish.
Wow. I genuinely can't even. There are no words. What a year for Canadian Baseball League finishes. What a Canada Day. And to be a fly on the wall of that bus ride back to Chatham, they have to feel like they had this every step of the way from the first pitch, not just that last inning. They controlled this ball game, but these Brantford bats, like the entire league, like we saw Friday, either of these teams can get hot at any moment with any outs left. Brantford was just the team that executed today. Wow.
And I tell you what, two thoughts come to mind. First of all, Nick Ian-Tone, who is not the world's fastest runner, that's for sure. But that was as quick a time as he's made it from second to home.
That's a great point. We didn't even
mention
mention
that. Great turn
that.
at third to be able to score on that play. The other thing, too, is that I feel personally justified giving Holden Craig player of the game, who's now actually the winning pitcher. But that is 3 in the 8th, 5 in the 9th to win 8-9. 9-8, excuse me.
As many runs in the 9th as the entire rest of the ball game combined. Red Sox fans, are you not entertained? My goodness, what a weekend of baseball these two teams played against each other. You do not get better of a head-to-head for Chatham. You feel like you deserved 1 or 2 of these ball games, but the record doesn't remember the context. The Red Sox pick up 2 huge wins. They jump ahead of Chatham in the standings. This Red Sox squad, depending on the outcome of that, actually not depending on the outcome of that Kitchener game, these Red Sox are now the 6th team in the CBL standings. That is the highest they've been in years.
And from the Chatham side, this is truly going to be a frustrating team for your team to lose. But at the end of the day, sometimes baseball is a funny thing, and I mentioned that in the 9th inning, in the top of the 9th, when they got 2 kind of cheap hits there to get those extra runs in. And then Brantford answers with the same kind of thing. They got a bloop in front of the center fielder, the chop off the plate. So nothing was really, with the exception of a couple of, like the home run by Holik. It's not exactly a game where balls were being ripped to the fence. There were a lot of bleeders, a lot of seeing eye singles, duck snorts, dying quails, ground balls with eyes. It was just a weird kind of a game, and the fact that there's so much happened there that the pitching didn't deserve. The pitchers, I thought the pitching was better than a 9-8 game indicates. One mistake at the end to Hultgren. Hung the curveball and he ripped it through the hole. I tell you what, that was pretty crazy. The other thing too is that I don't know if it makes a difference, but if you reel it back, Barrett playing inside the runner with first and seconds again, and the ball got past him. If he is back, it's a left-handed hitter. You got 2 out. I am back deep. And I'm even letting the pitcher know I'm staying deep because I need to knock down a ground ball. That runner was on second base. And so it's okay if you've got a ground ball that you knock down that results in a base hit and the bases remain loaded. But because the ball got by you and into right field, that allowed Ian-Tone to come around and score. You see what I'm saying?
I totally that's the reality. Every out was valuable there.
I noticed that earlier in the game where Barrett was playing inside the runner with first and second, and it was a 3-2 count and the runner was going. So I was really surprised that he was playing in like that. I don't see that very often, and I really wonder as to what the theory is there. I know Dom personally, and I would love to. I'm not going to talk to him now, that's for sure, but I'll see him again this year. And but you know what, Chatham fans, chins up. You've got a real good team there. You've got a batting order that is among the best in the league. And, the pitching has not been there, but we're still only halfway through the season. And it's there's lots of time to make up some noise, some distance, and make some noise to get into the playoffs.
Thunder rolling in. I'm going to wrap it up quickly here, Brian. Brian, what a game we just called here today. What an absolute pleasure to have you joining me alongside for this one. Happy Canada Day to each and every one of you watching out there. I'm Marshall Crocker alongside Brian Hawley. We will be back here at home Saturday against Kitchener at the back end of a home and home. We will see you in a couple nights' time. Happy Canada Day, everybody. On behalf of Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube Baseball presented by Mr. Lubin Tires, have a great week. Enjoy Canada Day and stay out of that heat till the weekend.